going on here? I demand an explanation.
We work for a highly funded yet unofficial government agency.
An intelligence organization that fears intelligence, historically not awesome.
The United States is a democratic nation. Here the people rule. We build no walls to keep them in, nor organize any system of police to keep them mute.
Freedom isn't free at all, but it comes with the highest of costs.
We have you, the listeners, and the hosts at
Revolution Radio,
for allowing us to bring you a platform of free speech.
Right now, it's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, clocks for now. Time's up.
Wind is blowing cold and dark. On the road and no way out. Broken hearts, a smoking gun. On the run. On the run.
The battle for the mind of North America will be fought in the video arena, the Videodrome. The television screen is the retina of the mind's eye. Therefore, the television screen is part of the physical structure of the brain. Therefore, whatever appears on the television screen emerges as raw experience for those who watch it. Therefore, television is reality, and reality is less than television. Max, I'm so glad you came to me. I've been through it all myself, you see. Your reality is already half video hallucination. If you're not careful, it will become total hallucination. You'll have to learn to live in a very strange new world.
Sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios. It's time for the very first ever Southern.
It's Friday night. My name's Jimmy. And in to the microcosm is on the air. I think the pink cloud has dissipated, but I can't tell. They were calling me Chief Pink Cloud last week. Well, we'll see. There's a lot of interesting things going on. We're happy to be here. It's Revolution Radio. It's freeworld.fm.
I am here.
Excellent.
And I'm in the Videodrome. I'm actually witnessing the showdown, the stare down, if you will, in the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. 58-year-old Mike Tyson fighting 27-year-old Jake Paul.
Doesn't matter.
It's a gladiatorium at its best right here.
He's going to slap that bitch like he did on the way in.
He might. They just went to their corners. I mean, he couldn't time it better.
I'm telling you right now. I'm just, look out, Jack. I'm telling you right now. Mike Tyson is a stone cold killer. He eliminated professional boxing because nobody could beat him when he was rolling, man. They had to destroy the Tyson because he's such a badass. He's gonna come out swinging. He's gonna kill. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, ring's clear. You're about to start the fight.
All right. Well, listen.
I can turn it up. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You want to hear it?
I can barely hear it. I can get it on YouTube. We'll check in with Mike Tyson. I got an interview with Mike Tyson. He had an interview with a young lady, a child almost, I would say, and he's telling her all about his legacy, and I think you'll find it interesting. But anyways, listen, I don't want to keep Rockin' Rio out of the conversation for too long because he is over there, you know. And the thing is, when he shows up and he's on time, you don't want to keep him waiting. Frequencies are gone, dude. It's a miracle. You performed a miracle. Literally, my eardrum was flexing before the show because Rio had an issue going on somewhere over there. He had a ghost in the machine, as it were.
Yeah, I don't know where it went, but it went away.
It sounds like it's back.
Uh-oh.
Only when you talk. All right.
When I talk.
Yeah. The rest of the time it's quiet, and that's good. I mean, on some level. Just because. Anyways, it's Rockin' Rio's here. Epic Journeyman's here. My name's Jimmy. It's Into the Mike Crowdness. It's Revolution Radio. It's freeworld.fm. It's the Independent Broadcast Network. We're here every Friday night. Don't forget, Revolution Radio is fully listener supported. Come on down. Become a supporter. Become a patron. If you don't have any money and you can't give, give your time and energy to help and promote the shows that you appreciate, because people work hard to bring you news and information 24 hours a day. Studio A, 24 hours a day. Studio B, that's 48 full hours. You can't listen to that much information. But it's there if you could. So help yourself. Come on down. Become a supporter. And know that, next month it'll still be there. The rent man comes around once a month. He's red ass. And he's got his hand out. He's got a red ass and his hand is out. Those two things don't mix. Do they, rock and real? All right, so listen. Are these... I heard that last week we brought up the fact that these benefits that were going out to some people that, the immigrants or whatever, had been taken away by the mayor. And then I heard also that a lot of these food or these street vendors all of a sudden started disappearing too. Is that true? What's going on the East Coast, man? What's going on over there?
I have not heard about the street vendors disappearing.
No. All right. Well, maybe it's just...
it doesn't mean it's not happening. I just...
It could be a rumor. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just checking in with you because you're boots on the ground. You're all up in there or whatever. So maybe you know.
You got to remember, I don't particularly go to the city, so I only kind of get what's going on from those who are there.
Now, have you seen this video of Mike Tyson slapping Jake Paul?
Yeah,
Did you see it?
It's a real slap. It's almost like a Chris Rock slap.
It's weird because for some reason he's walking up, and that Jake Paul dude comes popping up out of the bottom of the screen. I don't know what he was doing. He was on his knee or something. He's taking a knee. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Whatever he was doing, Michael Tyson was walking up, and all of a sudden, Jake Paul just popped up out of nowhere, and Mike Tyson just went and slapped him. Just like if Jake Paul was bobbing his head or coming up on in Tyson on the ring, Tyson was slapped him in the face and stepped back. He's ready to knock him out. And I'm pretty sure he's going to knock him out tonight. But obviously, who's the money on tonight? Who is the money?
I think on Tyson. I don't know. I didn't check in. I'm watching right now. Tyson's moving pretty good for a 58-year-old man. He hasn't really landed anything but jabs so far, the second round right now. That Jake Paul guy is pretty wild, man. As far as literally wild, swinging kind of off his. I'm a boxing fan, so he's throwing off his back foot.
He's a fool.
Not the leverage he should have, and he's going to get
knocked out. Man. He is going to get knocked out. Is the first round even over yet?
It's the third round's about to come up, but they're in between the second and third.
Okay,
it's an exhibition fight, so it's 2-minute rounds. And so far, the best punches, such as they are, were landed by, as far as I just want to call them power punches, were landed by Paul. But like I said, they're off his back foot. He wasn't leaning into him, so it probably didn't do much damage. The jabs from Tyson actually seemed to hurt Paul. He's already winded.
He's going to get
27 years old, man. He's winded.
I'm going to try to find
Breathing
this.
hard.
I'm going to try to find it on YouTube, man. I need to have me some serious play-by-play. All right, go ahead, man. So now we're
third round's about to start. So Tyson's doing his typical bob and weave kind of come in, and Paul's got a big reach advantage. Oh, he just got clocked by left hook. Paul did.
He's going down.
But Tyson's got the hunter instinct going right now.
Tyson's going to kill him.
Come in.
Tyson's a killer.
Just popped him with a good jab.
Tyson's a stone cold killer, man.
Just stone cold missed you with his uppercut. He almost had him.
He almost
hit
him.
Has a lot of range.
He's going to get his up. He's going to get him with an uppercut.
He almost did just now.
What?
Oh, good left hook by Tyson. It didn't hurt him though.
I need to see this, man. I know radio listeners. I know. Hang on, Epic.
I know, right?
Keep giving us the play-by-play.
I could turn it up and get some commentary from the guys, but they're just all excited because there's punches being thrown. The crowd's really overreacting to anything that Tyson throws because he's so old. but he's doing pretty good. Oh, he just got popped by a good 1-2 combo by Paul. Those are the best punches so far in the fight right there. Didn't rock Tyson though. Looks a little weary though. Not weary, but leery.
Doing shit to Tyson.
Paul's like, how come you're still standing up? He's got to look at his face, right?
Says stream.
It's Mike Tyson. That's why.
Yeah, looks like they're quashing all the YouTube streams of the fight. There was one there, and
So it's free on Netflix for people who have Netflix. You can stream it right now. It's on right now. Watch us, of course. Listen to us. But
well, I don't
go ahead
have
and put it on the
Netflix.
So I see all the videos are becoming unavailable.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it was on here.
It's probably not supposed to be.
Netflix is like, what do you do? Get that off of there.
What the hell are you doing? Right.
Want people signing up for Netflix tonight.
There's an interesting aspect when the fight's over. I can talk about it a little bit right now. I noticed before the fight that there's a big WWE kind of influence on this, in the sense that the showmanship of the people in the audience. I mean, it's very. We've talked about Vince McMahon stuff before last week. And
look at that.
Very much influence here.
Look at that Jake Paul dude, man. Look at him.
So the video I just found, 87% say Tyson's going to win. Paul's going to take the fall.
Well, he's 58 years old.
So listen, let me just say this. Let me just point this out. So now let's say you're a betting man, okay, and you think Tyson's gonna win, and you bet on him. How much are you gonna win on that? What are the odds on that shit? Fucking 2-1 or whatever, 1-1. What do you win?
I didn't see him. I didn't think I was gonna catch it.
How much money are you gonna make? You would make money if Whitey wins. That's the only way you're making money on this fight. I'm just saying that's the only way you're making money on this fight is if that Whitey knocks out Tyson.
Well, they're showing the slow motion replay and some of the punches that looked pretty good when they were live. Tyson did a good job of taking the edge off the punches, turning his shoulder in and rolling his head, rolling his neck, and they didn't really do any damage. So
yeah, they're saying
they're both settled down. It's the fourth round already.
Yeah,
the guys both settled down into they're comfortable.
People are saying
they're not,
about this fight
tired.
That the demographic of the boomers is rooting for Tyson. I mean, do you remember this
probably.
kind of shit? What was the name? What was the name of that mook? There was some dude. He was like the Great White. They called him the Great White Hope or something. He's some dude, man. He's like came in the ring, just got knocked out in the first round. I forget who he was. He was just
George Clooney was his first fight out of prison.
It was just his. It was
for Tyson.
No, I'm not talking about Tyson. I'm talking about who was the heavyweight champion of the world. Here's a trivia question for you.
Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir
before
Klitschko,
Tyson. Before Tyson.
Before Tyson.
Who was the heavyweight champion of the world? No one can even remember.
No. It was what's his name?
See, what's his name? Exactly.
I see. Gosh, man, if I hadn't said Clooney and all those guys, he's not white. He's
what's his
brother.
name? Old what's his nuts?
No, he's Leon Spinks got knocked out.
Yeah, Leon Spinks.
Yeah,
that was another one. That was lame too.
And then Michael Spinks got knocked out by Tyson.
Where the hell is where's Don King?
Holmes. Larry Holmes was the champion. When
Larry Holmes. That's how long ago it's been. Larry Holmes, dude.
I remember.
No one could ever beat Tyson in no one, man. I'll be surprised if this guy beats him, and if he does, it's because that same betting platform that picked Trump is saying Jake Paul or whatever.
They're under investigation. Polymarket, yeah, they're in trouble actually.
All right,
Trust
we're talking about them. Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, you know what? They're going to go the distance because it's 2-minute rounds. So
of course they're going to go
66% of each round.
It's an exhibition.
They don't want it to be over in 20 seconds like that other fight was.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man.
They did a lot of good movement around the ring this round, but nobody landed anything.
Look, if the game's not close, you tune out, man. You don't see the commercials. All right, so listen. This is an exhibition fight. They need every minute of commercial time paid for. Okay? Or whatever. They need you to subscribe. Is that what it is? Is there no ads on there, dude? Is there
no ads.
Okay. No ads.
The background, it's all in the ring. It's MetaQuest, Experian, and DraftKings.
So they're just getting a shitload.
The major
what they're doing. What they're doing tonight over on Netflix is they're getting a bunch of people's credit card numbers stored in there, because 30 days from now they're going to start charging you. Right now it's free, but 30 days from now, if you don't go in there and quit, it's going to start charging you. You won't even know it. It's because they're sneaky like that. Because does anybody even go through their credit card bills anymore? Do you? Let me ask you a question. When you sit there and you go boop 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 a million fucking times all month, striking.
It just happened to me. $119 for freaking Peacock or one of those stupid streaming network sites, right? The charge for the whole year because I was an idiot, didn't look at the fine print when I signed up like 3 months ago or something, right? Went from $5.99 a month to $119 in one full swoop, you know.
Yeah, well,
the day before payday.
There's a scam where it goes, okay, hey, if you sign up, it's $5.99 for a month, but after that, it's $50, and if you don't cancel within 24 hours, then we're going to charge your credit card $50.
Oh yeah, they're all like that. You know, since I got the new car, it came with Sirius, right? So I had 6 months of Sirius. And then at first they told me I could have another 6 months for $2 a month, but then it was going to be, $29.95 a month after that for the rest of the year. And I'm like, well, I listened to one channel on it. I'm not paying $30 a month to listen to one channel on a friggin' car radio.
Well,
like,
I was
not only do I have like AM, FM, but I can plug my phone in, right, and listen to anything I want. Why do I need to pay for it?
I know. Well, see, I was bringing up the credit card thing because earlier when I went to the store, I was going to buy some. I was going to buy a 12-pack of soda. And I saw the price there, and I was picking it up. But then as I looked at it, I saw the price, and then underneath it, there was like a fine print. Right now, I'm wearing glasses, and I'm standing, let's call it 5 feet away from that price tag. Okay, so I see it says $7.98 or whatever, and I grab it. But it's $7.98 if you buy 2 or more in small print. Okay, so I'm the type of person when I go to the store, it's like I'm thinking I'm going to spend X amount of dollars. So I'm thinking in my mind, now I'm thinking, well, it was $7.98 or whatever. But I never look at the receipt to find out
it was
that
like $12 or $13, right?
Exactly, because no one. I'm just saying, it seems to me that with all the card striking that goes on, there's got to be 1 million transactions on everybody's report at the end of the month. If you look at all the strikes of your card, that no one's going to sit there and go, did I spend $7.95 on this bill?
Walmart actually got in like really big trouble for doing that with produce not too long ago.
I was just going to tell you, there was this moment where I was in Walmart and I bought a bunch of shit. I moved to Colorado and I bought a bunch of shit. Okay, I spent a couple $100 in there. So I was on my way out. I'm looking at this shit. I'm just going, man, this doesn't look right. So I take it back in there and I make them go through every item. And it's like, it was off by like $140.
What?
I mean, the thing is, though, is like if I had my basket full of shit and I wasn't thinking about it, I'd just be rolling out to my car and throwing the bags in the back of my car. It's like, how many times, are we getting charged for this shit and we don't even know about it? It's like some weird scam. It's like
there was actually a class action lawsuit against Walmart for that. And apparently I was part of it because I had bought, I don't know, lemons or something when I was in Texas at the Walmart. And they charged me, an extra $1 or something over what they should have. But, you think about that. Even if it's $1 for a bag full of lemons, right? How many transactions like that throughout the store, throughout the day, week, month, and the hundreds and hundreds of stores, they're making millions by scamming people like that.
There was a guy at work who went to some gas station, okay, and he struck his card in there, in the pay station, right there at the counter inside the store.
Yeah,
he struck his card, and then like a couple months later, there's this charge on his card. He doesn't know what it is. So it comes to find out there's some unit that people can slap on the top of these credit card machines that that it gets your number, but it doesn't like go and charge some giant item and try to get a bunch of money off you. What it does is it charges you like a little bit of money, like $5 here, $5 there. Well, I'm just saying, let's just use the number of 1,000 as if I got 1,000 credit card numbers like that, and I'm charging, $6, $7, $8, $12, $9 on each one every month, and they're just getting away with it because no one's looking at their bill. So he didn't, he just happened to notice it. But if he didn't, that shit it was already going on for like 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Before he noticed it. You know what I mean?
I had one of those with something out of Florida. It kept charging my car. I'm like, what's this charge out of Florida? I'm not in Florida, right? And then at first it was like you're saying, it's like $5 here, $8 there. I'm like, wait a minute. And I called in, and then it got let go, didn't find anything. Then it was $38 twice at an airport. Like, all right. And then I finally got that back. But yeah, you never know. Like a scraping operation like you're talking about, where you go use your card just at a deli or something. Next thing you know, somebody else has your number, and they sneak it up on you, like what you're saying there, where it's just a little charge here and there. But if you have 1,000 of those, it's $5,000 a month, right? So adds up. The guy who has that.
Yeah, man. All right.
It just goes to show how, there are so many scumbags out there.
No, it's like it's like I was just
and they're both the scammers who put the little machine at the gas station, but the big corporation like Walmart is just as scummy.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, right? Everybody's looking for an angle.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Everybody's got an angle too. I mean, it's a matter. It's like you're just like a babe. You're like a babe in the woods. You got this card in your pocket, and you're just trying to walk through the world. Everybody's $9.95. You know what I mean? It just pecks away at you until there's nothing left. You're standing there, wondering what happened. Standing there going, Rio, what happened, dude? Everything was going so good when I was on the pink cloud, and all of a sudden, back to reality. Because, I mean, obviously, in taking a look at this overall scripting of everything that's going on currently, with the announcements that are being made on these cabinet positions, is really there's going to be some intense conversation going on about it.
Of course, it's like a joke. It's like a huge joke, right? You can't believe it. That's the whole point.
Well, what I'm finding interesting and what's coming back for me is today was thinking about this. Was this I want to to remember Epstein, and remember this whole incident with Epstein where it was on beer cans. Epstein's didn't kill himself and all this. Remember that? Well, there's this interesting tie-in with a lot of these appointments that are being made. They seem to all revolve around this nexus point of Epstein, which I find to be kind of interesting in and of itself, simply because, there was a lot of speculation when Epstein didn't kill himself, that wasn't even Epstein in the first place, that they arrested his body double. They just told him, hey, man, just go in there for a bit. We'll kick you some some extra cash. We'll have you out, a couple days. You just got to spend a few days in there. Just go in there. And then when he was in there,
hanging out with McAfee in Catalonia. Yeah.
I'm just saying, then when he's in there, they just snapped his neck with that guy or whatever. And so, the pictures of him and on this stretcher and all that never matched up. And there was a bunch of questions and this and that, but there was a lot of ideas that he went away into the witness protection program somehow. And so who had that, maybe he was whisked away, and he maybe he's on the Trump team. I don't know. I'm just speculating. It's not bad to paddle out to Speculation Island every once in a while. But
it's a good thing.
Who knows?
I speculate that Paul's going to win. It looks like it's going to happen. Eighth round, and he's just throwing more punches. It's not that he's looking better, doing more damage, really. He's throwing a lot more punches, about 4-1.
Yeah, well, all I can just say, man, is just remember, Tyson is the killer. And all it takes,
Tyson's got to keep the crown. So
it's all it takes is one punch, dude. So you just remember the rope-a-dope, man. Tyson could take a beating. And then just, boom, hit you with an uppercut, and that's it. that dude's jaw will come out the back of his skull. But I don't know. Wait, hey, do you want to listen to the Tyson interview that he gave with this young lady? I'll put it on the screen for you over on YouTube if you want to see it. Hang on a second. I think I can. Therefore, I must. All right, so Epic Journeyman so far. What round is it now?
Last round. 47 seconds left.
The last round? Is it going to be won by a decision against Tyson?
Big decision. Paul's going to win if it goes to the cards right now. Just because of landing more punches, throwing more punches.
I think they should just let it go until knockout.
All right, hang on a second. Here you go.
Well, in your return to the ring for this fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time. So after such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead? Why do you want somebody, you think somebody really wants to think about you? What's the audacity? I think, I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the fuck cares about me when I'm gone? Well, my kids, maybe, or grandkids. Who the fuck cares?
Well, there you go. He's having a conversation with a young lady there. What? I guess she's doing interviews like for sports or something. I don't know. But he really was
They both congratulated each other in the ring when as the fight was winding down. The last couple seconds, Paul took like a little bow and put both his hands up and like a nod of appreciation. And they both just like stood their ground. Nobody threw a punch for the last like 3 seconds to 5 seconds. So let it go to the cards. So it's going to go. I think obviously it's going to go to Paul just because he had more punches thrown and landed. Volume, not necessarily quality. The amateurs on the side and the commentators scored it 78-74 for Paul.
Well, so
that's unofficial.
Paulie Market was right again.
Yeah, there you go.
They had him 63%. Maybe the smart money wasn't on Tyson. I don't know.
Like I said, I think if it had run to last man standing, it would probably have been Tyson.
I'm just saying, out of the two of them stepping in the ring, I'm backing Tyson. I backed him. I'm not disappointed. It doesn't matter.
He threw good shots that missed.
Doesn't matter if he's 58. It's 58. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, he looked good for his age, especially. He had some of those prime shots he normally takes.
That dude was
a spot like in about the 5th round where he tried to do the uppercut and the hook where he had it open, and you could see that he had it in his head to do it, and he couldn't get it off in time. Like he couldn't react. Like the opening was there, and he like kind of froze for a second. Like he had it, but it was wide open. But
yeah, well, it seems to me.
Couldn't pull the trigger.
It seems to me
when he's on offense, he could do it fine.
He has to get it. He has to get in close, and he can't get in close because that guy's got the reach on him.
Big reach, yeah.
So the thing is that he that was one of his weapons he couldn't use. All right, here's another,
that's what it was.
Here's another clip too coming up. Here you go.
So what if, I've been thinking about this. I think about this stuff all the time. I'm crazy. So what if Joe steps down now, makes Kamala 47, and then Kamala uses that power that the Supreme Court gave her, that almighty presidential power, free to do whatever the hell you want to do. She should go in there with the military and get Donald Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, Ted Cruz, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz. I'm sure there's a lot, Mike Johnson. I'm sure there's plenty more, J.D. Vance, and have them picked up and arrested for treason. What? Come on, y'all. I could do this.
Yeah.
So hear me out. Hear me.
Of course, he's a buzz cutter, right?
What can you say, man? What can you say?
You know, I got to say, I floated that concept probably a year ago, 6 months ago, that Joe was going to step down and they were going to make her president, right? And I still don't see that as not happening. However, I think if she went in there and did something like that and took, executive power to eliminate Trump, that would be like civil war within minutes.
Yeah, well, so like look back when the last election happened and look at the political climate that was in play at the time with the opposing forces to the Trump idea were already inflamed around this George Floyd issue.
Yeah.
And so there was all this unrest going on at the time. So, I mean, from a situational perspective, to look at it, to say that, well, if Trump rolled in that election, that the country would have burst apart and burst into flames. So, they put Sleepy Joe in there for 4 years to pacify the people. Meanwhile, Trump is still there in the background, marching on, doing, his thing. And now here we are. And don't forget, he's the vax daddy. So all that went on during that whole time period leading up to, the reason that you saw a lot of inflation during this whole Biden administration was because of the spending spending that went on. But point is, now here we are, because we can look back at this script, from here. So now here we are, and he steps back in right at this critical moment, and coming in, and thinking about what was going to be happening in the next 4 years. All of a sudden there's this whole group of people surrounding Trump that look like there's two things that it looks like just from on the face of it. And I'm not trying to, bash Trump. I'm just saying on the face of it. It looks like the people that are being put in place are the two things that I see from the people that I see there right now is we're going to war. And there's going to be a big push for digital currency and new ID systems. That's what I see, and personally, just based on.
Absolutely, all the terrible things we've been worried about are all going to happen this next 4 years. So, don't worry, it's not going to disappoint. I mean, that's the thing. The thing about the supposed mandate, and it's not a mandate. It's only 0.2% of the voters turning out so far. There's a difference. So that's not really a mandate, right? You only had 6 electoral votes more than Biden did last time, and
I'm more or
5
less,
million less.
I'm more or less looking at
votes.
The storyline and the critical path. Okay, listen,
right.
Actors don't matter to me.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm not into the political aspect of it. I'm into the storyline aspect of it. So
yeah, it's setting it up. It's perfectly for it, right? And this is where the bread and circuses aspect of what I just watched, leading into the Mike Tyson fight, and all the people involved that were in that very kind of promotional aspect of like a WWE event, in the audience, right?
Listen to me.
And I think that's what we're going to see. It's going to be that great distraction, the bread and circuses, while all the stuff the rug gets pulled out from everybody, and we get the digital currency, and we get all the
everything Biden did, he got away with for these last 4 years. Okay. All of that shit is going to be at the disposal of the next president of the United States. So all the moves that were made were setting up the next 4 years. With all the shit that just got done in the last 4 years that everybody was so appalled about and all this and that, a lot of that stuff has to do with the future. And those laws that get passed, they're there. They're there for the future. and they'll be there in the next 4 years, and you're going to see a lot of that stuff is going to be coming to play. I think. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Like, it almost seems.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
That Biden was allowed to just kind of be the intermission, right? Like they put him in there to just, yeah, I guess maybe partially as a pacifier, but to divide and conquer is their ultimate goal, right? So, I mean, that was very divisive when he got in, and now it's divisive again that Trump won again, so it's kind of like, the overall plan of the globalists, the Jesuits, the whoever the Illuminati, whoever you want to call is in control. The overall plan's still marching on, and it's kind of irregardless of whoever's in office, right?
Yeah, because I mean, Elon met with the Iranians on the down low this week, right? And he's not supposed to. I mean, that's against the law, but he did it anyway. And who's going to stop him, right? And then you have all the stuff going on where all the cabinet that's being chosen so far, excluding all the ones that are outrageously ridiculous, right, are benefiting Israel, right? And they're going to push their way through. They're taking over the West Bank. They're going to, continue the genocide of the Palestinians. All that stuff's going to happen. Right, and the hardliners in Israel are going to take over like they planned the whole time. They waited it out for Trump, and they're going to get what they want. And this sets up the whole thing where it is going to be this showdown in the Middle East that everybody's, waited for centuries to happen, because it's being built to happen. It's like it's the show that we've watched the previews long enough, right? Now it's coming to reality. All the things are coming into play to make it happen.
Karen called Trump the patriot pacifier, right? Something for them to suck on for a little while they get their diaper changed.
In the bread and circuses. I mean, the distraction.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the distraction, right?
That's what I'm saying, dude, and that's what I've been saying, and that's why I get upset about this, political distraction from it all, because really it's the critical path that makes the difference. And so we're on the critical path, and there may be side bubbles, that happen, but for the most part, it has to go, it's from the beginning to the end, and each, monumental moment that happens, so regardless of who's where, and the moments happen, no matter what, they're going to happen because it's planned already.
Yeah,
it's nothing by accident. There's no accidents, just like Jordan Maxwell used to say. There is no, as far as the government's concerned, there's no accidents. Everything's, if you think the education system's bad, it's not bad because it's an accident.
No, it's bad because they want stupid people.
Right. Exactly. Well, luckily for me.
Well, I mean, we were saying, and we're commenting for, years coming into this, that this is going to be the last election in America and perhaps in the world on a major scale. This one, right? Regardless of who wins, because it's going to come to a point where artificial intelligence will be so good, which it already is, right, that humans cannot compete with it. So whoever has the best AI will always win the election. So AI is really in control, right? And it was interesting because the article today about that very thing, right, that's the way it is. That all the stuff that people think is, awesome that AI does now with ChatGPT and, normal people we're talking about, not people like us in the audience here that listen, that know how sophisticated it really is. But, drawing animations and things like that. No. It can do all these other things, right? All these other things. And once it's unleashed and it's out there on its own, or at the beck and call of the power brokers that control it, then we're going to be in a situation where you can't have a regular election, because no election will ever be truly fair, because it'll always be swung by what we would call it Cambridge Analytica style weaponized psychographics, or whether it's actually done through other means. It'll use every means available to it, it being the artificial intelligence being actually in control of the whole thing, right? So there's not going to be a true election, I don't think, ever again after this, in the next ever, until there's no AI, and that's probably not going to happen. That's pretty dismal.
Man, I'm going to start a drinking game on this show. Anytime someone says Cambridge Analytica, you got to drink. I mean,
what is
it? What is this? The only. Anyways, so look, where we ended up, I don't know, but it looks to me like, there's some action going on with this XRP, and there's some action going on with some lawsuits that are about to be settled, and I don't know. It seems that what so Elon Musk's favorite coin is the dog coin, the Doge coin.
The Doja coin, yeah. And it's funny that he's heading up the Department of Government, right? DOGE.
Yeah.
The government efficiency, right? So it's not only is Elon back the Doge coin, but he's going to be the head of the Doge department.
I don't know, man.
I mean, like, can you write the story any better?
No, and the thing is, man, is the guy living next door to Epstein is the potential. What is he? The Treasury guy? What is this? What is that guy's name? Lupkin?
Lupkin or
no? Not we were talking about Dr. Lufkin earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about Lufkin earlier. No,
what is Lupnik?
What's that guy's name?
It's Lupnik or some shit like that. I can't remember it now.
Yeah, Lufnik, I think it was. I'll look it up. Yeah, Lufnik, I think. But
he's putting him. He was on the transition team. The guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now
and, he's
wife. Okay, because now he's being put up as, I think, Secretary of the Treasury. I don't know. I can't remember now. Now I'm getting all flustered because there's so much shit going on. I can't keep track of it all. I mean, but I'm just saying, like I said earlier, as for some reason, this orbit is gravitating around a lot of people that were, Epstein affiliated for some reason.
I had that reverse on Matt Gaetz from.
That's what I mean.
Trump's last campaign, right? So that's 4 years ago already. Fly to actually that was
when he
the first
was
time
under
I did that was on Kev Baker's show. Fly to the island and bring your shame dollars.
Yeah, fly to the island and bring your shame dollars.
Yeah,
exactly.
Speaking of shame, what's with Melania and the nude photos and stuff on Russian TV?
I don't know, but pull up that. Can you pull up the Rio's greatest hits and pull up that shame dollars?
I think I probably could. It should be here.
All right. So I don't know what's up with Melania's naked pictures on Russian TV. Who knows, man?
Yeah, they're playing like 24/7 for a couple of days there, all over nude and semi-nude modeling things on primetime Russian TV.
I didn't look.
And yeah, people were theorizing that it was a humiliation ritual, right? Like that it was showing who's the boss. So I don't know. The smug, what's her name? Margarita, right? That's in charge of the news there.
There was pictures of her, but there's no pictures of the both of them or pictures of him or any of that. So, I mean,
what's funny about that? That picture of her on the bearskin rug is supposedly the day that the first time that her and Donald Trump got it on, and it was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. That picture is on Jeffrey Epstein's plane.
Well, literally, I don't know where the picture. Express. I don't know where the picture was taken, but I do know that she's a model. So like taking pictures like that to her, it ain't shit. As a matter of fact, it probably bolsters her career. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but like I said, if it was some sort of porn type shit, then she was doing something with
No, she says she's proud of it because it's just tastefully done nude modeling, right? But that picture of her on the rug is on Epstein's plane. That's literally on the plane, and that's where he first got it on with Melania. It was on the plane supposedly. That's their first romantic encounter.
Wow.
There's a little bit of history there.
Man, it's never ending. It's like a General Hospital or Days of Our Lives. It's literally crazy, the shit that's been going on, and the hype surrounding these announcements and the level. Now, it was looking like he was getting rid of RFK, but now I think he's not going to get rid of him, and he's the HHS guy. Is that true? Has he made
Yeah, he has to be confirmed, but yeah, he's a Health Human Services chief. Yeah.
Okay, so but still, he has to be confirmed, though.
Well, that's a big controversy, right? Is that what Trump's trying to do is ask Senate to and Congress both, since both are held by Republicans, to make a recess appointment lane for him by adjourning Congress and Senate both for 10 days. So he just says whoever wants to be in his positions, and they automatically become a recess appointment without confirmation process, which will cause chaos. It'll cause there'll be talk of secession if that happens. I guarantee you. But he's going to try it, and he doesn't care. I mean, I'm saying, like, that's the whole point, is to make it as dramatic as possible. It is the bread and circuses. It's all about keeping you tuned in. Nobody wants. That's why all these people are coming in from WWE and coming in from UFC. All these promoters are all coming into the administration because it's a huge fight. It's a huge promotion. It's like Don King's president. That's what it is.
It's crazy.
Only in America.
Only in America. America, land of the free, home of the slave. Nothing's going to change for the working man. Maybe gas prices will go down just a little.
And your Social Security go away. Right?
But is anybody ever going back swilling $5 coffees in their SUVs down to Starbucks? I think those days are over, man. I think you're going to go.
Much.
I don't know. But here, I mean, why not be enthusiastic? Can't you be enthusiastic? I mean, let's just say, like I say, I mean, don't they say politics is a rich man's game? It's because you got to have a bunch of money to sit around pondering shit about politics. Because most people don't ponder any of this, and they don't give a shit about most of it. What they want to know is, can they go to the restaurant? Can they go on vacation? You know what I mean? Can they retire like they thought they were gonna? That's what people are thinking.
Well, you got to figure Social Security is going away. So
if it goes away, 18 months. Right? But see, the thing is, in my opinion, I mean, I'm just saying, this is just my opinion. You could make it go away, okay, because you could fund the new universal income program that also includes some sort of health care with the new digital currency that doesn't exist yet, that will be spent into existence. So you could wipe away the Social Security. People go, oh, well, I paid for it my whole life or whatever. But whatever you were going to be getting with the new digital currency, it would be set up so that you could afford to live just the same as you did off your Social Security. You wouldn't be living any better. It's not like living off Social Security is going to help you survive. You got to find some country where you can pay $35 a month rent for a shack and live off Social Security.
Buy from Bolivian tin miner, right?
Yeah,
no doubt. Well, it's an inevitability. Like all these anti-globalists, and I am one. We all are, I think, on the show, most of our listeners. But the thing is, universal basic income is a necessity. It's going to happen at some point. It's just how long down the road it is. There's only two options. You make that or you kill half the population or better, right? You just find a convenient way to get rid of them, because there's not going to be enough jobs. There's not going to be enough of an economy to support people working in these old-style Prussian education system factory jobs, because those are going to go away and be automated. So what's left? You have to set the floor. You accept people to live and have a standard of life to live by.
That's what I mean.
That's it.
People are pissed off in California about this minimum wage for fast food workers. But the thing is, man, what they don't realize is by forcing that wage, what they're doing is they're setting up this entrance of the robotics into this whole industry to get rid of these $20 an hour people that you got to deal with. There's no, at this point, remember in Idiocracy, they had those kiosks where you could just walk up and get a burger. Just get a burger. I mean, really,
big ass fries.
You might as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. You might as well just. Yeah, you might as well just, because they're microwaving that shit, man. Those black lines ain't from the grill at Burger King. Okay.
Right. That line's from the movie, by the way.
I know, but I'm just saying those black lines on the burgers at Burger King, it's not because they burned it on the grill. That shit coming out of the smokestack, that's just scented shit they spray in the air to make it smell like a barbecue. You know,
I have a horrible story, and it's brief.
Well, don't tell it now
Jack
because
in the
we're
Box.
about
Okay,
up on
good,
the break. So listen.
Well, it's only 10 seconds long.
All right, go ahead.
It had that smell. There was a Jack in the Box, which is normally associated with Burger King, stuff like that, right?
Mm.
It was next door to the crematorium in San Diego. Lemon
Oh,
Grove.
boy.
So, yeah. So be careful about that smell.
Well, listen, I'm not saying anything. I mean, I haven't personally tested anything, but I hear that there's been man corn found inside of that McDonald's food. And I don't know, man. They just came up with, it's the onions from Salinas that did it. It's into the microcosm. We'll be right back. Don't throw me in the briar patch. Revolution Radio, freeworld.fm, the independent broadcast network. That's Dave Manichetti and the boys, Y&T, Bay Area favorites, and ass kickers extraordinaire.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Did you ever feel that things were not quite right? That everything was just ever so slightly askew?
Do you have, to paraphrase Morpheus, a splinter in your mind?
If you're interested in hearing the latest information about UFOs, the paranormal,
ancient cultures and structures,
monatomic elements,
longevity,
fantastic discoveries in science,
downloaded to your brain,
then tune into us. Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Mackie.
And we are Shiny Side Out, Sundays 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern. See you then.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
If you're sick of the lies and ready to know thyself, to love thyself, well then tune in to the Loveolution with your hosts, Amy and John Paul, where we speak all about truth, love, and freedom every Tuesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Studio A. Right here on Revolution Radio. And remember, only you can free your mind control. Be a Loveolutionary.
Welcome to Coffee Rants with Dan. I am the spiritual anarchist, Dan Arnold, your host. Tune in for what's really happening every Thursday. That's Thursday at 9 a.m. in Studio A on Revolution Radio. They keep us in fear to manipulate us. They want us ignorant so we're easier to enslave. They make us murder one another so they don't have to do it themselves. Only you can break their mind control by healing the contradictions within your belief systems that allow you to accept their lies in the first place. The time has come for us to remember our divinity, who we really are, to return to what we are meant to be, a service to others. to return to nature and to reclaim our birthright, that which is freedom. The truth will sound belligerent because it is in direct opposition to lies. So get angry, because anger is sacred. And together we can unite and rise. Rise from this darkness. Humanity, assemble.
Do you love topics about history, world events, popular conspiracies, and everything under the sun, while discussing their historical context? Then welcome your host, Trinity, where no topic is off the table, truth is spoken to power, and where your voice can be heard. Here is where you can communicate openly and learn from one another, while respecting our diverse society and figuring out the truth to where we're heading. Join Trinity in a 2-hour roller coaster ride of research, comedy, and interesting content. Made with you in mind, people that matter the most. On Mondays at 12 a.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. Central, only on Revolution Radio Studio B. Be a part of a different way to hear radio.
Check in every Thursday night for the Crypt Rick and Jonathan Show.
Studio A, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at the #1 listener-supported radio station, Revolution Radio.
I want to thank everybody for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the one place where information never sleeps. Revolution Radio.
All right, let's show them what we got here.
All right, thanks for listening while we take that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
Joe, the house is surrounded. Do exactly as we say and no one gets hurt. Get off the babysitter. Put on your pants. Come out with your hands up.
Please, Joel, do as they say. Just get off the babysitter.
It's Friday night. Joe Perry Project. He broke up with Stevie. Went out on his own. Said, let the music do the talking. It's funny that they had that listed as an Aerosmith song at one point, but now it's there. There's you know what? The Joe Perry Project only has 356 subscribers. Check that out. He's only got 356 subscribers. Yet, this video has 104,000 views.
Well, that's what happens when
almost like there's some kind of algorithm nonsense.
Something doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And that's why we're here. It's into the microcosm. Shit doesn't add up, and we show up every Friday night to try to sort it out. I'm here with the epic journeyman and the man, the myth, the legend, the East Coast rumbler, Rockin' Rio. Are you rumbling in your 6'4" tonight, man? Or you got?
I am.
Sweet.
And I have. I'm cruising down the boulevard with the top down and the wind blowing, and Matt Gates' greatest hits.
Oh, you got it
in the cassette player.
Do you really now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me lean back.
The cool part with the top down is your hair looks like Matt Gates just doing that.
Let me introduce you to the one and only Rockin' Rio. Rockin' Rio, let us have it, man.
All right. So this is a reminder. This is from the campaign from 4 years ago, but when the whole Epstein thing was going down.
Now let me try to recall, because so much stuff happens. Now, wasn't he under investigation for some sort of
naughty child pictures on his phone?
Was on his phone, because I thought it was something that went on.
Oh no, it was more than that. It was
between him and some.
He took that girl to the Bahamas. She was underage, and so they went across state lines to child human trafficking. And then not only that, the guy that he was with at the time, he made like a kind of like a sheriff in the district he was in, and they were printing up all his fake IDs together. There's a whole big thing. And that guy went to jail for, I think, 12 years. It's a 10-year minimum. And of course, turned on Gates. And then they started this investigation. DOJ decided not to prosecute, but Congress took it up. So that's what it is. It all goes back to this whole thing, to these parties with underage girls. One in particular that ended up being a porn star, like for a brief time there, apparently. And they didn't think she'd be a good witness because of her sultry profession at the time. So that's
right. But the story, which had occurred like 2 or 3 days before this particular speech that he gave, was that the FBI had confiscated his cell phone for investigation.
They took his phone. Yep. And he's showing pictures on the Congress floor. On the floor of Congress, he's showing pictures to everybody.
Yeah. Pictures of
sex acts.
Children in naughty positions.
Man, this shit is just. I fucking hate this shit. Go ahead.
All right, so the first prize that I had in it is Epstein knew I would share this.
Epstein made our together.
I mean, that's as clear as a bell, right? Epstein knew I would share.
Solid. It's definitely solid.
And then let's see. I don't have these all particularly labeled here, like I normally do, because this is an old school way. I think this is the one where he says down to the island.
For a Democrat impeachment manager.
All right, so he mentions Epstein here again, right? First, I admit that I am Epstein's, right? So he's part of the Epstein clan. Oh, okay.
Ended up working for a Democrat.
So then he says, the one I love the most, the 8-year-old Negro, mighty nice. God, she's hot.
There's hot.
Oh, God, they're hot. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's comical, the how excited he is,
Yeah. So, the 8-year-old black girl, he thinks is the hottest, right? So when he goes to see Epstein, so then the next line is over here. This is about the island.
Right,
he's serving the crime on Earth. You go on the island, the shame they're loving it.
And for the nation that I know benefits from stay
the night on the island, the shame they're loving it. So that's that. Stay the night on the island. The alpha nuggets are down there.
You're shame dollars.
Bring your shame dollars.
So let me assure you, you're shame dollars.
And then it says, and
so let me assure you.
Sorry. And then it says, and then the shamed will know, so I am eating it.
Here we go. So I am eating it here.
Right, so he's eating ashamed. And then the next thing he says is, I revile you. Which is right here.
I revile you.
So, you know, yeah, there's definite ties to the Epstein. He says Epstein's name twice. He talks about the island, bringing your shame dollars, and how he loves the 8-year-olds. Is there any more to say?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the worst possible person to pick is the AG, that'd be him, right? I mean, there's nobody possibly worse in public light that people know of, other than Epstein himself, who's not here anymore. You could possibly pick as far as reputation of being just an absolute antithesis of everything that law and order represents. He's a lawless person completely, right? And flaunts it. He lives to just cause chaos, right? So the thing is, first of all, why did he get reelected? I don't get that. That blows my mind. But the other thing that gets me is of all the people to pick. So it's
because
what I think that most
he
people
got
do.
elected because of the two people that were up there, and people rejected what was going on and what's been going on.
What's going on in Florida, though? I mean, just his district. I mean, I don't know why his district's so effed up. You know, they choose a child molester. I mean, what the heck, you know, or alleged child molester. You know,
yeah, alleged.
But the whole thing is, though. I mean, to me, it's like I think I really do. It's like it's a trial balloon, bend the knee for me moment, right? Where, well, you know, just to see if they'll do it. It's like Pink Flamingos, which is a terrible movie, you know, with eating the dog shit. Pardon, that's what it is, right? I mean, will somebody actually do it, right? And that's the thing here. Will somebody actually, will the Senate actually bend the knee and confirm Gates as an ultimate, you know, loyalty trial balloon, you know, to bend the knee to the king? And if they do, well, great for the king. But if not, well, at least they gave it an effort. But more importantly, then it is moved over to Windows so far that everybody else will sell through. At least they didn't get Gates in there, right? So that's kind of what it is. You moved over to Windows so far that by throwing Gates up there as a potential candidate for this position, that by not choosing him and just putting everybody else in, then at least you just did that. You got rid of the worst, right? So now people you would never, or that never would have passed a confirmation process, do get confirmed without as much of a ruckus being caused in Congress because the worst of the worst didn't get in. So it's just, in a way, it's just that. Like it's a you know, power play. It's a power play, I think.
Yeah. Well,
what are you gonna do, man? You know, I'm just saying there's like I said, it's an orbit around this nexus point called Epstein, and it's starting to look a little weird, man. I'm just saying that all these people seem. I mean,
yeah, every one of them seems to be tied to the whole Epstein Island thing in some respect or another. I mean, we know that Trump flew there. We knew that, you know, obviously Matt Gaetz has got some involvement. That other guy.
So that every single person in a position of power has dirt on them from Epstein, since somebody has that dirt.
Well, maybe Epstein does, right? Maybe you're right. He didn't die. He still has his, you know, little black book, and it's still out there in his the Maldives with.
Doesn't it seem a little weird?
McAfee, right?
Doesn't it seem a little bit weird that every single person in a position of power has this Epstein connection?
It's more than a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little creepy, I think.
Yeah. Anyways,
a little bit beyond creepy.
we'll see what happens. The thing is that the other side of this, then also from looking at it from a facadal perspective. So this whole thing is a facade. So let's say if you're whipping people into a frenzy, it's like it's already for some people real bad because they don't like the fact that Trump got in, just on the face of it. But then to get in and then just come back with throwing this stuff, man, and just saying all this stuff and pointing these people that are just gonna. It's like trolling on. It's like 9-level trolling. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like begging for something to happen just to stop it. It's you know what I'm saying? It's like every single thing you could do to inflame the opposition is being done, and out in public in front of everybody. It's almost like it's almost like begging you to try to stop me. Try to stop me, man. Look at what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come in here. Look at this. I'm gonna put this person in and that person. Look at that.
It's like the little kid running down the aisle and knocking all the toys off the shelf, right? And that's what it's like. It's like, stop me. My mommy won't stop me. You're not gonna stop me. Just running through, knocking everything down. Not making the child comparison to Trump or anything necessarily. I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. It's like unruly.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
Do you think that Mike Lindell will get a position? Mike Lindell, remember him?
Yeah, Mr. My Pillow. You don't remember me, but I remember you.
You don't remember me, but I remember you. 'Twas not so long.
Man, it wasn't so long ago. Everybody had a My Pillow, you know?
You know what the funniest thing is?
Tears on my pillow.
He was destroyed, man. He was destroyed.
Caused by you.
Imagine him as press secretary.
No, he named the press. He named the press secretary today.
No, I know, but that'd be like the funniest one, like the most outrageous one, to make him press secretary. So he's out in front of the press every time. Every time we come to question what's going on, so it's Mike Lindell.
Think about the next line of that song. If we could start anew, I wouldn't hesitate. I'll gladly take you back to tempt the hand of fate.
Hold on. Here.
Right? How fitting is that
Hold on.
for the situation we're in?
I know. Hold on.
Tears on my pillow, pain in my heart caused by you. Love is not a gadget. Love is not a toy.
I think I missed it.
No, it's right here. Right?
Start anew. I wouldn't hesitate. I'd gladly take you back and tempt the hand of fate. Tears on my pillow, pain.
Tears on my pillow.
Tears on my pillow.
Well, I gotta say though, let's just say this: he, out of all the times he's done reverse speech, out of all those times, the only time a dude came up congruent was him
and honest. It
was him.
It happened a couple times, but he was a very notable He was telling the truth the whole time.
He was a true
He
believer.
truly believed
in
what he was
Jesus.
saying.
True believer, yeah.
Yeah, he
No,
was
absolutely.
a true believer in Jesus. Was what happened. In
Yeah.
case you don't remember, maybe you could dig up. You're doing greatest hits, man. Maybe you could find Mike Lindell. I don't
I'll
know.
take a look and see if
you
I
should,
still
man,
have
because
that.
I was telling Rio he should have a greatest hits CD. You know what I mean? Where you just have a whole collection of these from over time. Seriously, some of these speeches too, over these political times over the last few years. Some
I
of these.
have the file.
All right, man. That'd be crazy.
I don't remember what the two clips were though.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I just remember he came up clean.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of coming up
I'll
clean,
listen to him.
so I was on with Charlie Robinson, going to be on his podcast, not this week, but the following week. Had a good time with him yesterday, hung out for about an hour, and we had a good conversation. And so look for that. It'll be on his channel over there, coming up, wherever you can find it. I'm not even sure what his website is, if he has one. I know he has one, but I don't know what it is. It's probably the octopus of globalcontrol.com. Maybe. I don't know. But if it isn't, just look for it. Just type in Charlie Robinson, man. He's everywhere.
It's Larry Holmes of websites. I know what it is. Hold on.
I know, man.
I'll remember a second.
I can't remember shit.
Look at it.
My short-term memory loss is getting worse. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just this.
It's macroaggressions with Charlie Robinson.
Right, there you go. No, I knew the name of his show. I just didn't know the name of his website.
No, that's what it is. It's on Twitter. The link takes you there.
I
and
see.
awesome
I see
too.
it.
So,
Okay,
or I'm sorry, X.
All right, see what I mean?
X Twitter.
Yeah, when I'm not on here with you guys, I'm not on here. I got to say, at one level, I had to check out, man. I can't sit here and pawn and dig and all this, because like I was saying on Charlie's show yesterday, it's been a while. The research has been in for quite a while for me. There's at this point, what else can you drill? What are you going to drill into? It's the Beaver Moon tonight, so that's good. It's always good to look into the Beaver Moon. But I'm just saying, as far as like this political discussion and trying to suss out what's going on, it looks pretty. At this point, you couldn't write this any better, could you? Seriously, it seems like there's this nexus point, and this Epstein nexus point is very disturbing. Even up until the guy's address, one of them lived at number 9 and the other one was number 11. Epstein was like, I don't know which one was which guy had which number, but they both had, those are the numbers of the two places that lived next door to each other. Whatever that guy's name is. What'd you say his name is? Lupkin? Or something? I don't know. Who cares?
You got me doing it.
It's just a name.
Yeah.
Give it a name, Rio. Give it a name.
give it a name.
Fuck, doesn't matter.
Well, he's the guy who's always in the background too. Like he's always there, but so you don't remember his name. It's not Lupkin. It's Lupkin. I'm pretty sure.
No,
I'm making a point not to use Google or the internet anyway.
The reason we were
talk to the wonderful guests in the audience.
The reason we were bringing up Rio and I were talking about Lupkin is because we were talking about. I was telling Rio there was this moment way back when, before there was any whistleblowers or before anybody wrote any books about Cambridge Analytica or any of this. It was way back when, and I was listening to this lecture of this dude who wrote a book, and it was like some lecture at Berkeley, and this guy wrote a book about a diet, and I was listening to his lecture about this diet, and in that lecture there was this moment of recognition where he was talking about dopamine and serotonin and the difference between the two, and he equated serotonin with happiness and dopamine with pleasure. And it was in that moment that I realized why it was the dopamine that was being induced and why it was so important. And it was because pleasure costs money. And happiness, you can't buy happiness. Happiness is a puppy or whatever, your granddaughter or, you know, your uncle, whatever it is, man. Happiness, that. But pleasure is something completely different. Pleasure costs money, man. And this is a business, and you know, we need people spending money. And so keeping everybody hopped up on dopamine keeps people spending money. So everything else.
You got me thinking
there,
a weird way. Like I was thinking serotonin's like important for sleep, right? Like it's, you know, being content to sleep. It's important for sleep, and then dopamine is the pleasure principle. It's the dopamine hit, right? It's a narcotic kind of effect. It's the
but that's what we learned.
And what I had to think was like, it takes effort to get dopamine, right? Generally speaking,
but
there's an outlaying of some kind of energy on your part to get it. So it's not necessarily money, but yeah, it's that. Then the other one, when you're in relaxed state, serotonin kicks in, right?
Well, we learned from the Timothy Leary tapes of that party that they were at. We learned that the basic reasoning behind the LSD was because of the way of what happened to you from a dopamine perspective. So the whole that was what it was about. And so the thing is once you tie this dopamine aspect into what we're talking about, and you realize that you used to have to take something or have something happen or whatever to get that dopamine, well, so the delivery system has now been turned into what we you know utilize every day in these electronics. So the dopamine delivery system is the internet, and it's social media and everything
it's calculated,
else.
right?
Right. So
and
go ahead.
So the targeting that Larry mentioned is kind of I won't say it's naive by today's standards, but it's changed, right? Like he was targeting specifically sexually active young people, right? That was the target group. You can say that's TikTok or whatever today or something like that, but now that group's been expanded because the algorithms and social media that can target people where they're at and still deliver that targeted dopamine, right, to satisfy that addiction. Yeah, it's amazing, man. That was an intense after party, if you will, for
Timothy
the 70s.
Timothy Leary literally said that they were responsible for turning Americans into pleasure seekers. So, I mean, he said that back then, what, in the 70s? It was like 72
I think it was
or
79, I think.
something like that.
Not positive. It's on the, well, it used to be on YouTube, but you have to look for it. They call it one of the, not after party, something like that. But it's all the people involved, all the different
right, but see, like
intellectual brain trust of all these different universities having these, some were on LSD, some weren't, right? Having this conversation. It's just funny. Aldous Huxley standing back in the background like a wallflower, and you got all these people on the couch with Leary, and you have this wife like making sure he doesn't, peek out too fast and rein him in.
The point is, he said that back then. Okay, now here it is, whatever it was, Rio, was it? I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. This guy comes out with this book, and so that conversation where he says, yeah, we're turning Americans into pleasure seekers. It didn't mean as much as it meant after I all of a sudden found out that dopamine is from pleasure and serotonin is from happiness, and so then that all starts to come into view at that point, because you can see clearly that that's the whole object of all of this. Most of the technology and the marketing that's being done to us and the way it's being done, and the invasion of our actual skulls with, psychological programming and engineering on a level that's not even conceivable. Mind control is like an aspect of cognitive warfare. Mind control is not the same thing as cognitive warfare.
Yeah, it's one facet of it. But.
Right.
So I don't have the believe in Jesus quote, but I do have the thing about the machines, and they know that he won with Mike Lindell.
Oh yeah.
as far as telling the truth.
Yeah, no worries.
So.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about LSD or whatever. I'm not. It's not the point. The point is the ultimate idea behind it was to activate this dopamine delivery in a human, and to observe and see what happens to people when they are, doped up, basically.
Yeah,
why do you think
and they pushed it hard, right?
Right. Why do you think they call it dope?
Yeah. But
you're all doped up. That's why.
I mean, and that's why we saw such a cultural change in the '60s, in the late '60s, right? Like, it swung the entire consciousness of
into
the country.
pleasure seekers.
Yeah.
We used to seek happiness. Look. People used to seek each other out and be in love and seek happiness of building a home together and, having these children and all this. And then all of a sudden, here comes the pleasure seekers, man. It's like, make love, not war,
Yeah, make
Free
a life instead of
love.
making a life for yourself. It was let's just do whatever feels good right in the moment. Right?
Exactly,
That was
in
the
the
change
moment.
in the attitude.
Exactly. No more serotonin for you, sucker. It's all dopamine now. It's got it because it costs money, man. You want to get that rush? You want to know what it feels like to go down to the club or whatever and hang out? Yeah, man, it costs money. You know what I mean? Now you don't even have to go to the club and hang out. You can just watch a video on YouTube. Watch a video of somebody who went to a club. You don't actually even have to go to it. So like we said at the beginning of the show with Videodrome clip.
Yeah, the experience to your brain is the same as experience in real life. Exactly. The difference.
Exactly. I mean, how many people now, instead of going out to the bar to try to pick up a girl or, whatever, they just, they put on the hub, sit at home for 5 minutes with their thing in their hand, and they're, they're happy.
Thing in their
There
hand.
it is. That's the end.
It's called the joystick.
It's the end, man. It's the end.
Yeah.
It's a universe 65.
I'm telling you, man, like the future is here and it's now. I mean, it's going to be so bad. I'm kind of impressed that it hasn't gotten as bad in America as it's gotten
How do we
over
go?
in Japan.
Last week,
like the Japan, the women they're gone. Like they're lost to these interactive games and virtual boyfriends, right? Like without even the VR stuff. And now with the VR, you can't compete.
We went from the pink cloud to like we're passing out the Kool-Aid this week. Last week it was a pink cloud. This week it's pink Kool-Aid.
What was the movie?
Blackpill Jimmy and the crew.
Yeah. What was the movie with the guy who had the virtual reality girlfriend in the future? Was it Blade Runner or
no?
I can't remember what movie it was, but it was like that style of movie.
I was putting my guitar away. Well, yeah, it was two. There's her. Her's the one where what's his face from Gladiator, Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix has the AI girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And Scarlett Johansson's the voice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like too real now. That's actually out. There's actually a real thing like that now. Of course there is, right? Why wouldn't there be?
Nation's saying the movie was called Her.
Yeah, her. Exactly. That's what I said.
I don't know.
Yep.
I'm just saying I'm giving Nation some props too.
Oh yeah, I know. I said
Paulie's right though. That's it.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah, it was, but it was a Blade Runner-esque type movie. That futuristic.
But Blade Runner 2, the 2045 one, I think it's called, with the what's his face, the dancing guy.
Sounds like
I don't watch his movies. Anyway, that guy was in it. But yeah, he had a virtual girlfriend like that too.
Maybe it was Blade Runner
animated.
2 that
2045. Yeah, Blade Runner 2045 is the one where he's got it's almost like Cortana from Halo, where it actually is physical hologram that manifests.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking of. So it was right. It was the Blade Runner. It was just Blade Runner 2. But
the guy who played Ken in
that's like
Barbie.
Burger King. I didn't go in.
Amber's gonna get the name right.
I didn't see Blade Runner 2. I didn't see Blade Runner 2. Did you, Rhea?
You don't need to.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it wasn't a great movie.
That's what I mean. I don't go into Burger King.
Well, you know what it was? It was too long. Number one, and number two, is predictable. Like you knew what was going to happen. I won't spoil it for you in case you do watch it, but it was predictable. You knew what it was going to be. Like 10 minutes in, you figured it out already. I thought, which I hate that kind of movie, especially when the movie ends up being 2 hours and 40 minutes long. I think the 2045 was the actual time of the minutes, right, for that movie. Pretty long.
Yeah, something like that.
How many years do you got to watch TV before you get to the point where you could watch a movie in 30 seconds? You know what's going to happen already.
Yeah,
because you've seen so many plot lines play out over and over and over again. It's like a revolution. Round and round we go. Round and round we go. There's never an evolution, is there? There's only a revolution. Round and we go.
Yeah, that's why Pulp Fiction was so popular and deserved it, was because it kind of shook up the. It was like Rashomon in a way. It shook up the order, right? To make, so you can give Kurosawa his props there, I guess. But the fact it didn't have a predictable plot, right? It jumped around, made it less likely to be.
Non-linear.
Yeah. For jaded people like us, longtime viewers of motion pictures,
that Dennis Hopper, the Dennis Hopper, the last movie, where it was non-linear, and they hated it. He sat there and he edited it all up and all that. They hated it because it was non-linear.
Oh, so, the actual Dennis Hopper production one, the last movie, yeah.
The last movie, yeah.
Scott says you could name any Brady Bunch episode in one note.
See? You got it, man. That's right. That's right. No, I run a video store for 6 years.
Marsha.
Part of it. And had a Tarantino tie that way. And that's what happens is you've seen all those films up to that point, right? Like I gave up watching movies for years pretty much because of that. It's like you can predict every movie, in a matter of minutes usually.
Yeah.
I mean, once you've seen so many.
The whole green screen thing is just just doesn't seem, it never seems real to me. You know what I mean? I mean, it used to, when they blew shit up, they used to actually blow shit up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was actual, I don't know, there's just something about it, when they were doing action movies or whatever.
Making the naphtha bomb so that they had that nice, colorful black and red.
Now these dudes are just running from a nuclear blast, and there's all these flames and shit, but nothing's
like on a treadmill.
Nothing's happening to them. Nothing's happening to them. They're just run, dude.
Right. They're sweating because they're on the treadmill. That you can't see this green screened out, right? And they're just sort of breathing hard and they're running, but that's about it. Yeah.
No.
Well, they're all in the safety of the studio now. There's
right, it's air conditioning.
nobody's being Buster Keaton anymore. Doing their own stunts in real
badass,
time.
Man, he was. Him and Charlie Chaplin both were incredibly. Still showing that right now.
Well, even Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones. I mean, when that ball came rolling down, that thing would have crushed him if it had got him. That was real. They had a little tiny trench for him to dive into at the end of that run. And if he had tripped earlier, it would have flattened him because the thing weighed like 2 tons. Nobody does that no more. They would just do that in
think back when there
After
wasn't
Effects or whatever.
Think back when there wasn't anything. There was no editing or whatever. It was like a dude standing in front of some fake set, just saying some words.
Buster Keaton, when the wall of the barn falls down, it falls perfectly with him in the door. That's real. If it missed, it would have killed him. Would have crushed him.
Yeah, but I'm saying is that people would take you to some fantasy and make you believe some shit that they were reading on a paper, and all they had behind them was just something to make it seem like they were somewhere. They weren't anywhere, and the shit they were saying wasn't real. It was on a paper. They read it and they acted it out in front of you and made you believe it, and that was before there was any, You'd go somewhere and go watch a play or go watch something, and it's a guy and a light, beaming down on him, and he could take you to a place by saying something to you, and creating this magic around these words, and create something.
Gone are the days of the storyteller, Jimmy.
Right, but so you don't have to do that anymore because most of what you used to have to do is created behind you. And everybody's looking at all this shit over here. No one's really looking
at... Yeah, the mind fills in the blanks, right?
No one's really you're not having to make someone believe it as much. Because they're to the point where they're ready to fucking believe anything at this point. And the more unbelievable it is, the more believable it gets. So at this point, however crazy some shit might sound, you're going to see a whole bunch of people all of a sudden jumping on a bandwagon around it because it's so crazy that it sounds crazy. It's like, I don't want to sound crazy, dude, but did you hear about this? You know what I mean? Every single thing every single kind of thing you could describe, if you went somewhere and tried to describe it to people, they would put you in a straitjacket. It's literally gotten to that point. And seriously, I mean, you know, people talk about, you know, TikTok or whatever, but there is a serious that has a serious social effect on stuff, and that's the thing that's going on right now. You're seeing the fragmentation of social media based on this election, and a lot of people exiting X and going different places, and now everything's getting fragmented instead of keeping it all under one roof. So now it's going to be subgroups of subgroups. And, you know, where are we going now? Oh, we're at TikTok. No, we're not at TikTok anymore. Where are we at now? I don't know. We're over here now. You know? Only the cool people over here know about it. Everybody else over there. If you're not over here, well, you know, you're not part of our thing. You know? I can't have anything to do with you. Did you see that shit? The stuff's going on. People, hey, we don't have nothing to do with you, Rio. You know, we don't like something. You know, we don't like who you voted for.
Yeah, we don't like the color of your shoes, man.
The Angels want to wear your red shoes, man. Epic Tournament, are you there? This is like
I am here. I was having a discussion in the chat with Mike Mott about the Mandela effect in the movie Sorcerer. Yeah, it was a great movie, by the way. So I can say it instead of trying to type it out. No, Mike, there's how do you remember the end of that movie? Let's think about it for a second. Mandela effect is most people, I won't say most, a lot of people remember when Roy Scheider's dancing with that woman at the end of the movie. Sorry, it's 1977 for people who haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you the end of the movie. He's dancing, and the hitmen show up at this little cantina in the jungle, basically. And when they show up and they drive up to the front of the cantina, this little building in the jungle. He's dancing with this girl. Like they're the only people in there. The last scene in the movie is he's diving for the window. But if you watch the movie now, anybody who watches this movie now, that doesn't happen. So there's an effect there. Like that, people who watched the movie originally now, it could be just a different cut, but you can't find it. And everybody I know who watched it with me back in the day because we were big into the movie.
Scour the earth for the mug.
Yeah, they were looking. Well, scouring the earth is what that movie's about. So there's a Palestinian guy who's a bomber making bombs and stuff. There's Roy Scheider, who's a mobster running from the mob. And I forgot what the other guy was doing. They ended up taking dynamite. It was TNT actually across the jungle to put out an oil well fire. And it's a William Friedkin movie. And it's directed really well. And Tangerine Dream wrote the score for it. And we're talking about how unusual movies are to stand out. That's one, because the music soundtrack is what made that movie, along with cinematography. But the Mandela effect is that everybody died in the movie, except for Roy Scheider. And at the end, the mobsters catch up with them at this shack out there in the middle of the jungle, right? In Brazil somewhere. I think it's Brazil. And the last scene is the shattered glass as he goes through the window. But that scene doesn't.
Joe, the house is surrounded. Do exactly as we say and no one gets hurt. Get off the babysitter. Put on your pants. Come out with your hands up.
Get off the babysitter.
I remember that.
All right, did you already play this Mike Lindell?
No, I did not.
We're spiraling out of control. Okay, go ahead. So, it's been a long time since I rock and rolled Rio. So rock and Rio, let me have it. Let me have the Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell.
Allegedly.
Hang on here a second.
My iPad just ran out of battery.
Uh-oh.
It just went dead. I have no access now. Only.
I'm on my iPad right now. How's the audio?
Only this. You sound good. Everything sounds good.
Good.
Let's not go full tech night owl.
We're not going tech night owl. No,
right.
Can't do it.
No. We're still on the dopamine tip over there. We're on the dopamine tit.
There's a lot of stuff.
That'd be a good name for a band, huh?
Dopamine tit. It is a good name. Yeah, it is a good one. You know, you want to let go.
Get off the teat.
You want to let go. You want to stay.
Get off the dope tit.
Stay on the dopamine teat.
Get off the teat, man. You got to get off the dopamine teat. You got to get up in the serotonin. You got to go.
I feel like you need the Shaft voice for that. Remember the song, Hayes song, Isaac Hayes. You know, he's the bad whatever. Talking about Shaft, right? That should be talking about teeth. No, but anyway, I digress. Dopamine teeth. Anyway, there's something to that, you know, because that's why it's so hard.
Well,
to get people,
Linda over here in the chat is saying she's bringing in the aliens, man.
Well, that's where I was going to go.
I know. Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny that
Larry, all these other people are bringing it up.
I know. Well,
because it's in my social media all over the place. I'm not trying to. I'm not. The algorithm is steering it towards me. Even on Reddit, which I haven't been on Reddit for a long time, when it should be. The messages it sends me. I'm not a subscriber to any of these UFO paranormal things at all. And all of a sudden, that's what's coming up. It's like, you know, UFO, UAP. What's UAP, right? Now. Are they really planning on this? It might be. This might be the next big move before the inauguration, right?
Well, the Hopi prophecy
what can take over everything else.
The Hopi prophecy says the man in the red hat is going to bring the great white one. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know either. The ant people.
I know this. That's what I'm saying. It's to the point where it's so unbelievable that it's just believable. Anything is believable at this point. So, and the more outrageous it sounds, the more believable it is. For some reason, it has the opposite effect.
Well, it's gotta be crazy. The windows so much we're outside.
That's what I mean. It's crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. Anything goes at this point. Anything goes.
I'm sure that between now and January, we're going to have plenty that will be unbelievable to discuss.
Was there people making AI videos of Tyson knocking that dude out? Because I saw videos of him knocking that guy out. So I mean, obviously it wasn't the fight that we saw. So
no, but now you can't tell the difference. I mean, you need the AI to see the AI's work and you know, prove that it's not real.
You just call it out. Let me see. Show me Tyson and Jake Paul fighting based on
the AI stuff is getting really, really good. But if you know how to look at it, you can still tell it's AI.
Yeah. Well, still. That's what I mean.
It's getting much harder, but there are still things you can pick
out. You're the type of guy that's looking for that shit. Johnny Sixpack and Susie, you know.
Yeah, no.
You know, they're not looking at that. They're going, wow, look at that. Yeah. Look at him. He busted his head. You know, at this point, you know, the thing was, too, there's a moment of realization where maybe it's not like it seems. In other words, you see all these videos of people getting beaten, you know, by cops. And yeah, people are getting beaten by cops, but the more you see those videos, the less talky you are when you get pulled over. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing. I mean, it keeps you in line, you know. You see those videos.
I mean, the hard part is to make sure you don't laugh, right? You can't laugh.
I'm just saying, you see those videos. I'm saying, I mean, think back to it. You remember that whole "Don't tase me, bro"?
Don't tase me, bro.
What if "Don't tase me, bro"? That whole thing was staged. In other words, they threw that guy in there. The whole thing is staged. He's screaming and all this, and no one.
Well, 2 weeks apart, right?
I'm just saying.
Apart between him and what's his face, the newscaster.
Yeah.
Asking about Skull and Bones with George Bush, W. Bush.
Just saying.
Right?
After that dude said that, no one said shit at those Kerry
Well,
events.
that was Kerry. That was his question to Kerry about
right.
Skull and Bones, right? And he gets tased. Yeah.
And nobody else ever asked that question again, because that video was one of the ones that went early viral or whatever. Everybody saw that, you know. I mean, if it happened now,
talk about psychological operations, right?
No shit.
How to silence people? Well, you ask the question, you'll get zapped.
Exactly, and beat.
You know,
he got dragged out by like 10 officers. They're just boot stomping him. Oh no! Don't take me!
And the whole time, Kerry's being supposedly a nice guy. That's not necessary.
Please,
blah, blah, blah,
you know.
Yeah.
Please,
Meanwhile,
don't hurt him.
Yeah.
Don't kill him. Just just shock him a little bit. Just a little bit.
You know what was shocking? It was shocking about Kerry. The moment I found out Kerry, his tie.
The Hines family?
No, his tie that he wears on
the
his,
tie he wears. Oh yeah, right. Teresa Hines.
Okay, it's not just even the price of the tie, which was $1,500 each for those ties, but the fact that within the tie, whatever the tie was, underneath it all, there was JKs woven in to the whole tie. Literally. I mean,
as in just kidding?
No, as in John Kerry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, is that the level? That's get my Susie, get my tie maker in here. I just found out I can have my initials put in every single one of my ties. I don't care how much it costs. Taxpayers.
It's interesting,
taxpayers,
right? Because
it's an expense.
The resolution of TV back then wasn't HDTV everywhere yet, but people had HDTV, so there was HDTV transmission. You were able to get it. So the Kerry one, 2004, going to the 2003 election cycle, not that many people had HDTV, so you couldn't see the JKs. But when it was, some people could when they zoomed in, you're close. But I'm saying in general. And then when you had the Romney debate against Obama, more people had HDTV. And the little American flag pin that's normally on the senators or the congressmen they always wear.
Yeah.
He had a Freemason. The second debate, he had a Freemason pin.
Who did?
Like plain as day, right? And if it wasn't for HDTV, it's exactly how we would think it would be the American flag, but it's not.
Huh.
Right?
Who, Obama did?
No, Romney did.
Well, I think Obama is a Prince Hall Mason.
He because he has to be, right. That's one of the rules. He did have that ring though. So in that same debate, the debate where the second debate with Romney and Obama, they have three debates. The last debate of the second, third, might have been the third. Karen Carpenter and Tim Russert. Yeah, that was the guy who died shortly after asking George W. Bush rather about the skull and bones. But no, that particular debate, yeah, he had Obama had the ring that was the supposed Muslim tie-in ring, which I've never seen proven, but it does look unusual. It's got a scythe, I think, on it or something weird on there.
Yeah, well, there was also a moment.
Romney had the skull and bone. I mean the
if you go there, then you got to remember a particular moment, and that was when Obama was being sworn in. Because when he was being sworn in on camera, there was a snafu or whatever. And then he had to be re-sworn in later. And there was people saying that he didn't put his hand on the old Bible.
Oh, yeah, I remember that whole situation.
Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
And it was the guy who passed Obamacare who swore him in too. It was that appointment, that super conservative dude who was appointed by Bush, who's the head of the Supreme Court at the time. I can't remember.
It still is.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, no, I can't remember his name. But it was that guy who swore him in, and then he swore him in later. In private, and then Obamacare.
Yeah. I mean, That was a whole plan, right? It was a whole.
I know you forget. You know, man, so much.
Roberts, Justice Roberts.
Yeah,
Roberts.
Justice Roberts.
Trying to
Exactly.
remember
Roberts.
the guy's name.
And you know what was funny?
I can't remember if it's John or not. I know it's Roberts. I think it's
that was the funny thing too, is that everyone thought it came down to Roberts for Obamacare, and everybody thought because Bush put him in there, he was super conservative, that he wasn't going to do it. But for some reason, he did.
Well, the Brotherhood always looks out, right?
I'm just saying. Maybe he's got some connections to that nexus point we were talking to about earlier. Maybe he's connected to this old Epstein conspiracy. I don't know.
Oh, there's something that ties those people together. I mean, a lot of people theorize. A lot of them are Catholic. There's a Catholic kind of thing, like the, the old self-torturing subsect of Catholicity. It's kind of a cult.
You
in
know
a way
what?
That maybe that's what it is.
Check it out.
The Opus Dei.
Check
Opus
it out.
Dei. But
Check it out. It's break time. We got to go to a break. It's revolution.radio. It's freeworld.fm. It's the Independent Broadcast Network. My name's Jimmy. It's into Microcosm. Sitting here with Rock and Rio and the After Journeyman. We're going to be right back after a minute of silence, I think, and then we're going to be moving on to another realm, the realm of the third hour. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. Anything could happen. But in the meantime, here's some Citizen Cope.
Another sister shooting heroin to Morris. Amputees in Freetown, Sierra Leone's. The church wasn't honest. The state put the youth in a harness, creating hostility among us. The teacher said no college. Still kid gotta get a check with a couple commas. People wanna bomb us. More people gotta scatter and run from us. Blame it on Zeus and Apollo and Adonis. But what you done here is put yourself between a bullet and a target.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.
Are you interested in the paranormal, murder mystery, real natural law? You enjoy interviews with amazing guests? Then join Crypt Rick every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Revolution Radio. Studio A, freedomslips.com. Crypt Rick's High Thinking. Welcome to the Crypt.
It is no secret that the so-called mainstream media is best described as controlled propaganda. Countless news stories are either totally ignored or spun with half-truths, and because of this, essential facts and vital information are often compromised. Join Dr. Ott every Friday night on Studio B at 10 p.m. Eastern and learn why The Story Behind the Story was nominated for a Peabody Award in its second year of producing unparalleled broadcasting excellence in 1997. That is, if you really care about learning the truth.
Do you love topics about history, world events, popular conspiracies, and everything under the sun, while discussing their historical context? Then welcome your host, Trinity. where no topic is off the table, truth is spoken to power, and where your voice can be heard. Here is where you can communicate openly and learn from one another, while respecting our diverse society and figuring out the truth to where we're heading. Join Trinity in a 2-hour roller coaster ride of research, comedy, and interesting content. Made with you in mind, people that matter the most. On Mondays at 12 a.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. Central, only on Revolution Radio Studio B. Be a part of a different way to hear radio.
If you're sick of the lies and ready to know thyself, to love thyself, well then tune in to the Loveolution with your hosts, Amy and John Paul, where we speak all about truth, love, and freedom every Tuesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Studio A, right here on the Revolution Radio. And remember, only you can free your mind control. Be a Loveolutionary.
Interrupt your normally scheduled programming to bring you this important broadcasting announcement.
Now is the time to explore your greatest potential, embracing truth, health, and wellness while discarding the system and exposing its corruption. Experience true freedom every Saturday night between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from Studio B. It's the Jonathan Wright Show.
Find it right here at revolution.radio.
Narco-syndicalist commune. We take it in turns to act as a sort of executive officer for the week. Yes. But all the decisions of that officer have to be ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting. Yes, I see. By a simple majority in the case of purely internal affairs. Be quiet. But by a 2/3 majority in the case of more... Be quiet. I order you to be quiet. Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look. It's just a flesh wound.
I don't believe I've seen such a display of courage, skill, nerve, grace, and stupidity.
I'll do you for that. Oh, what? Come here. What are you going to do, bleed on me? I'm invincible. You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs.
Roundtable Live, Monday through Friday, 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring your mind, bring your ideas, bring your voice. King Arthur had nothing on us here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. All right, thanks for listening while we took that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
It's Revolution Radio. Freeworld.fm, the Independent Broadcast Network. Mom's Jimmy. Hey, listen, I want to clue you into a channel over on YouTube. Go over there and look for something called The Blazy Show. BLAZY. It's a guy called Jeff Blazy. He does a morning show now, and he used to have a show. And he was a super popular guy back in the day on a different channel that he's on now. There used to be a channel in the Bay Area called KOME. They used to say, "Don't touch that dial. It's got cum all over it." That was one of their taglines for that station. That was back in the day when you could say shit like that. But anyways, the reason I'm bringing it up is he's only got 511 subscribers. And I would highly recommend you go check it out if you like music, because he used to have some of the biggest people on the planet would come by his show and play. I mean, they might be in another place, but he himself was a musician. And so all the recordings on his channel, it's not his radio show, it's only music and people that played music on his show. And here's Shannon Hoon and Blind Melon on the Jeff Blasey show. Go check out his channel. He's only, like I say, he's got 511 subscribers and only 283 people have heard this. So I'm going to introduce you to it, and here it comes.
Sun coming out today, no staying in, gonna find another way, yeah, 'cause I sit here in this misery, you know, I don't think I'll ever know lower, see the sun from here, in the bottom of this spear, knows I fade away. Saying, yeah, they'll look at me and they'll say, look at him, I'll never live that way. But that's okay, it's just afraid to change. When you feel like they were living up, the sky and wash you down with a little bit of, and when you're deep inside sorrow, yeah, you keep on dreaming, boy, and when you stop, you know you're gonna die, and right now I don't wanna die, and as we all play parts of tomorrow, Lord knows, some ways will work and other ways will play. They pay me.
There he goes. Shannon Hoon. All right. Hopefully you guys haven't been lulled into a false sense of security. But I mean, seriously, that takes you to another place. But you know, that was a song he was singing, and the rest of the Blind Melon group of people formed a band around him, around that song. Do you know that? I didn't know that. Here.
No, I was never really much into Blind Melon.
No. Why not?
I mean, just not my style, I guess.
You just don't like it?
Yeah, it's just not my thing. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't talented, because he obviously was very talented. But
yeah,
obviously, just not my thing.
It's hard.
I'd like to know the origin of the band name.
It's hard.
Right, like.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, you know, I think it's based on, this is my acid head thinking from back in the day, probably, is that, you know, even a blind squirrel finds acorns, right? So blind melon means you found something big, right? I think that's what it is. So it implies brain melon, right? Blind melon.
Yeah.
Blind squirrel finds acorn. Yeah.
You know what, man?
Overthinking it.
It's hard. It's hard to please Rock and Rio, man. You know what I mean? It's like no matter what shit you talk, he hates grunge. Okay, he hates the Dead.
I think like half of America hates grunge.
You hate everything, man.
I hate the Grateful Dead too. Except
You
for a couple
hate
songs,
everything,
yeah.
but you know what, man? Old Jimmy's
Like
got.
Terrapin Station.
I got you covered, dude, and I got you figured out. Right? I guarantee you're not going to hate this right here. Here's another cut from the Blasey Show. See, look at this. Look at who's stopping by the Blasey Show. Paul Rogers and Neil Schon.
Okay. See, now you're talking.
All right.
Now you got a guitar player and a singer.
Here you go.
It might be good.
From January 1992, the Blasey and Bob Show. Here's Paul Rogers and Neil Schon.
Walking along in the rain, water in my shoes. All I can feel is this pain in my heart and these muddy water blues. Oh, yeah. River, weep for me. I got nothing left to lose. Under the weeping willow tree with these muddy water blues. Muddy water blues. Muddy water blues. Muddy water blues.
Damn. See? I don't know. Look at it.
I mean, say Muddy Water Blues, you can't, you get a free pass at that point, right? I'm just like,
You know what, man?
that's good. Well, plus it's Paul Rogers. I mean, come on.
All the acorns are falling off these trees. And so every, couple minutes, it's like, boom. One of these.
How many bands that guy play with, by the way?
Who?
Like
Paul Rogers.
Paul Rogers, man. Like same with everybody, right?
Yeah,
Man,
he
I don't
did
know.
the Queen thing for a while. He did. He did his own thing, right?
If you didn't tell me that was Paul Rogers and that Muddy Water Blues, I wouldn't have guessed it was him, actually. So it shows some of his depth, being able to do things. You think of him from Bad Company primarily, right? But
Bad Company.
But all these other bands he played with, the Queens. I mean, he's got a lot of range, but he has a lot of control of his voice. Like he can sound like other people, which is good. Like that Muddy Waters Blues is a good example of that.
Well, I have to say, Paul Rogers is probably my favorite rock vocalist out of all.
That's
of
great.
them.
Yeah.
And he played with the Wildflowers, who was I think the guitar player at the time was Mick Moody, who was the original guitar player in Whitesnake. So there's ties between him and so many other bands, right? What was the other band? Oh, Free, right? He was in Free.
Yeah. Well, Free was basically Bad Company before it was Bad Company.
Yeah. Well,
Here-
I think there were a few lineup changes before they became Bad Company. But
Here he is doing House of the Rising Sun with Neil Schon off the Blasey channel. That's what I'm telling you, man. The Blasey Show.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. It's been the run of many a poor boy and God, I know I'm one.
Yep. Paul Rogers, man.
Well, and the guitar work, I mean, it's springy, and then it got me thinking, why is it springy? And it's because it's a brothel. It's a bed springs. Why? That's incredible. That's good.
A gambling man, way down in New Orleans. Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Oh, I spent my life in sin and misery in a house of the rising sun.
Damn. Here comes some guitar, eh?
That's one foot.
All right, there they go. I'm telling you, man, some big people stop by that guy's show. And he's funny, man. He's got a morning show now in the morning. So, he's a funny dude. There he goes. Jeff Blasey.
Well, because Neil Schon was Journey before Steve Perry brought the vocals, right? I mean, it was an instrumental band originally.
Neil Schon was in Abraxas, and so was Greg.
And he came
Neil
over
Schon,
from Abraxas to.
So was Greg Raleigh. So
Greg Raleigh was the one who was actually singing the early Journey vocals.
Right.
He was the keyboard player.
Yeah, and he was in Abraxas too. And then they boned out, and they started Journey. And they were more back then. They were more progressive, more Floyd-like. You know.
I mean, they're more instrumental, right? Like before they made their, big hits.
They're like they were like a Floyd band. They were like know, Trippy or whatever. Give you shit to think about, that kind of thing. More or less. And then when that dude came in there, that high pitched.
You won't say his name.
I'm gonna say his name, man. That high pitched singing dude. Can't stand the guy. But anyways, when he came in, that's when they got the big audience. It's when all the chicks started buying records from him because they liked he was singing about love and all this high pitched.
Well, they liked that, and he used to,
he was all high
tight
pitched
jeans and show his stuff off. So
And he was all high pitched. I don't know. That's maybe why his wearing his jeans were too tight.
That's why it was so high pitched, right?
Yeah,
it weighs a couple octaves there.
Like a one ball.
I think of Eddie Murphy with the Mr. T sketch, right? Looking mighty fine in them tight jeans, boy. Eddie Murphy raw, right? Yeah, no, I mean that's kind of what he was going for. I mean that was a whole '80s right there in that show.
It's all
no pun intended.
It's all too much, man. It's all too much, and it all adds up. When it gets to that point, anything's believable, and the more incredible it is, the more believable it's going to be. And that's the way it is here in 2024. Moving into 2025. Let me just say, I don't know, man. You could be rocking into the free world. For the next 6 months, you could make a shitload of money on some investments, maybe. Who knows? Seems like potential's everywhere, Wouldn't you say? I mean, don't you want to feel like you're on the cusp of something great? Like something good's going to happen? You know what I mean? Wouldn't it be nice to feel like, you know what, man? Maybe I'm just going to go on vacation, and just enjoy myself. Eat out, have a little something to eat here, go there, just be a tourist somewhere. Just be somewhere unknown to you, just wherever it is. It doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Just go on an adventure. You go anywhere.
Go on Walkabout.
Anywhere can be an adventure.
Go on Walkabout.
Yeah. And even going to the store could be an adventure.
thing about Walkabout is it's a great answer to anything. Like if you don't want to talk to anybody, hey man, what you do? I'm a Walkabout. Right? I mean, it's just there it is. Oh, okay, well, on your way then. You know. But meanwhile, if you're doing something cool, oh man, what brought you here? I'm a Walkabout. Yeah, it's a good term, man. I like it. Aussies come up with some good stuff sometimes. That's a great one.
Man, you need to get off. You need to get off the dopamine teat, dude, and get off the babysitter.
Right, get off the babysitter. Well, she's on a Walkabout with me.
The babysitter is the electronic dopamine teat that's right in front of your face right now. I have one. Do you have one, Rio? You know, I know you do because it's over there. It's got
electric teat. Now there's a good name. Electric teat. I like that one. That has some wheels.
I don't know, man. Or, the idea is flow. The idea is flow. In the middle of the night.
We've probably had 1,000 good band names on this show over the years.
Where's the beef, man? That's the question everybody wants to know now.
Where's the beef?
You can't rest on your laurels in the alternative media. If anybody thinks it's a replay, they're gone because they need to know what's happening right now. They need to know what horrible shit is fucking at bay right now. It's just outside the door. It's just out there. You can hear it. Its heart's beating outside the door. Watch out. Rocket Radio.
It's the Raven.
Judgment is coming, Jimmy. Judgment is. They're turning the frogs gay too.
Yeah, well, he got his channel back, right?
Yeah,
so
he
lost it today, and he got it back today.
Got to steamroll the goblin's nest. Rock and Real. Let me ask you a question, son.
Don't ingratiate the goblins, Jimmy.
Let me ask you a question, man. Are you ready to open up them phones?
Yeah, we could open up. I was just thinking we should do that.
I know. Well, I sent you a mental telepathy. I invaded your cognitive liberty with my own will. Because I opened up my third eye and I sent you a message telepathically in the dead of night in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Is into the microcosm.
718-618-9905 if you'd like to join in or comment on any of the situations going on right now.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Like I said, man, it's an onslaught. You know, when I look back over this, I mean, literally, this show, not including any other shows I was ever on. This show, we've done over 1,500 episodes of this show. 1,500 episodes. We lost a channel that had over 500,000 views on all the videos on it.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this shit a long time, man. I mean, we're the type of dudes that are sitting on the porch looking at it all, whittling ourselves up some baseball bats out of trees or whatever. We're making toothpicks out of logs on the porch because, you know, we've seen it all pretty much so far. I mean, at this point, would anything shock you? Nothing's shocking anymore, like I said. It has to be so unbelievable that I can't, you know, all this other stuff's not bad enough. I need something even worse to think about or believe in, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't have enough already. I'm not carrying heavy enough a load, Rock and Rio. You need one more straw to break the camel's back, you know what I mean? One more straw, just throw it on there, real quick. See? And you're still there. You're still struggling. Ooh, you know. What does it take? You know, enlightenment is not illumination. I don't think people, you know, get that. Enlightenment is relieving yourself of your earthly burdens, which means you don't carry all that baggage. You got to offload the baggage. Like if you're climbing, Rio, when you're climbing up the mountain, you want a bunch of baggage. You want to be dragging like furniture and shit, giant, you know, couches. You know,
that's the scene in that movie, The Mission, right, where Robert De Niro is carrying his armor, pay penance up climbing the mountain. and then the priest cuts the cord, right, and it drops down the cliff behind him, and cutting the cord is like the metaphor for leaving your physical body in a way and your burdens behind.
Well, because enlightenment is the path to illumination. So you have to, once you free yourself, then at some point it's like your head pops out of your ass and you see the light at some point in your life. And when you reach that moment, and that moment does arrive, it's called the moment of truth. And it happens for every... Go ahead.
So then I got to ask, what happened to De Niro? Because his head is so far up his butt right now.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like the priest in that movie, Jeremy Irons, Jeremy Irons, right? Sorry, guys, it's a 30-year-old movie, 40-year-old movie. He gets killed. He ends up going over backwards over the waterfall on the cross.
De Niro turned into himself from Goodfellas. You know, when he gets old and he's at his house, he's like older, and he's at his house, and the dude comes by. What's his nuts? He comes by the house, and Robert De Niro's all pissed off at the door. He's an old man. He's like, no, you know, saying some shit to him. That's what he's like now. What happened to him? I don't know, man. He was never your friend. That's what's happening. What he thinks is
talking to me.
What he thinks is none of my business. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit what he thinks. Do you?
No, I don't care what he
thinks.
Scouring
they went to
that
school, that acting school, right? There's a whole history about those guys that went to that school, right? That's what they all came from that same school. So if you follow that I forget the name of that school. It'll come in a minute. But yeah, those guys, all those method actors, right? Like that's there's a whole thing. Jimmy, you know it. I know you do. What's the name of that school? But they all went to that same school. Like all those guys came out of there. Pacino and De Niro and all those guys, right? Yeah.
I do know, but
I look
can't
at
think
De Niro used to be a good actor, right? Like Goodfellas was good, right? He was good in that. Like, and then then he did what was
the
it? The Father of the Bride
Studio.
with Ben Stiller. Like that's when I knew his career was
Actors
over.
Studio.
Yeah.
Actors Studio.
Yeah, Actors
and you're
Studio.
talking about the Method or whatever.
Yeah, there's a name for it. There's actually what's that same
the
school?
name for
it's
it.
in
Method.
New York somewhere, right
It's
outside.
the Method actor. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
the
kind of
Actors
the
Studio.
name.
The Actors Studio. That's what
But,
it's called.
yeah, so but they're the guys who pioneered that style. So maybe there's something to that, you know, like you're putting so much into your acting at a certain point that you've drawn so much upon yourself that you're burnt out at a certain point, right? Maybe you're bitter about it, you know, because you have to give up a lot to do that. I mean, you're putting yourself outside yourself, living another role, get into it, and like those guys, they starve themselves to get in a role, to lose weight. They live, you know, into that character role so much.
Yeah, they become the character.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be taxing on you, man.
Oh, I guess that's probably why he's like so mentally unstable now, right? I mean, he was on television crying last week, so like.
Who was?
De Niro.
Oh, he was.
He's in tears.
Well, so what? He cried in movies.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean shit. Does it?
But these were real tears.
Okay,
Jimmy.
get out there and okay, listen. Okay, this is what we need you to do. We need you to get out there, and we need you to cry for us. Okay, we need you to see. I need to see tears. Let's see these tears. I'm tell you what. I'm gonna give you $100,000 for every tear I see. How's that sound?
Yeah, more tears you ever saw before in your life. Yeah, all of a sudden they're there. Yeah.
If I see water flowing down your cheeks, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna throw in this yacht I got laying around over here. This 50-footer. If I see the you know the rivers, if you're crying me a river, I'm gonna throw you this yacht.
You crying at me, Jimmy?
Get out the crying towels, man. Seriously, the nation's divided in half. It's almost like this fight tonight. Some people wanted one guy, other people like the other guy. You know, one people wanted the knockout, but when you don't see, are people making crazy videos now about Tyson losing the fight?
Tyson made his $50 million tonight for
saying.
whatever he made, for his hour on television. Like,
right, but
he doesn't give a crap if he wins or loses.
Yeah.
He just made $50 million.
But I'm just saying, is there anybody making TikTok videos about Tyson losing the fight? They're going to leave America, or they're going to? I mean, I don't. You see what I'm saying? Maybe not. I don't know. I know this. At this point, how could you take anything seriously? Isn't it time to exit stage left?
Well, it's getting difficult to take anything you see seriously anymore. It really is.
Well, I think that's part of the objective, right? The objective, I think, was all the stuff that's going on right now in the world is to make it so unwatchable that you just turn away from watching.
That's what I mean.
And then people could do. They're doing those things in the dark. They'll do it in the dark.
Just won't resist. You just don't resist
anymore. That's your goal the whole time.
Yeah, no one's resisting anymore. They just go, yeah, it's aliens, man.
Yeah,
it's aliens. What? Okay, okay, yeah.
Hey, look, the aliens landed, and there's a green hair over there screaming her head off. Oh, their head off. I can't say her.
No, it's like, seriously though. This next how many days is it now until January 20th?
Seems like a countdown to the right channel, right? What is it, 60?
60 something
63,
days.
64, whatever. Yeah, somewhere in there, right?
I don't know, man.
Not that far.
I don't know. It's the house of the rising sun, man. Yeah.
Well, that's what's great about that song is that particular version of the song is not like the Animals song. He wrote the song, right?
Polynation says Jake Paul feels bad about winning because he's white.
Oh boy.
No, I'm just
obviously not, right? But that
67 days.
67.
67.
How many 31 days? It's 30 in November, 31 December. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's too many. Well, or too little, depending which side you want to look at it. I just think that, all the stuff's happening is that far away still. It doesn't get inaugurated until January 20th. It's a long ways off still.
Man, did you used to watch soap operas when you were younger? Did you cut school?
My mom, no, I didn't cut school.
You didn't cut school and watch soap operas with the girls?
So I was stuck at home and I had to watch them when I was sick or something. And I was always amazed at how ridiculous they were. It's always amnesia. It's like amnesia, and it's.
They seemed ridiculous, though. That's the thing. Is they seemed ridiculous at the time, but you didn't realize at the time what they actually were, because that was an inside look at how it all works, dude. It's just an episodic. It happens day after day, and there's little storylines in there, and there's characters. They pop in, they pop out. Some they hang around for years and years, and they're just like politicians almost. It's almost like exactly the same thing. It is exactly the same thing in reality.
It is. It's exactly like politicians. Yeah, it is.
It's an episodic. It's like, what happened today? What happened today? What happened today? I don't know, man. I don't know what happened today. I just went to work and came home and had lunch, and next thing I knew, all this shit happened. I'm like, what am I going to do about it, Bill? I don't know, Bob. Yeah, just hand me another bear.
Well, it was the dynamic of it, right? The women back then was a single, family member supply and the whole family with income. It was the guy was going to work back in the 50s or whatever, in the early 60s. And when we were home watching soap operas, being homemakers, that was a dynamic. It was Leave It to Beaver, right? That was kind of what they're trying to shoot for.
Leave It to Beaver on the Beaver Moon.
Yeah.
Staring into the
Beaver Moon. There we go. Exactly.
And staring into the Beaver Moon.
But so the women that were homemakers at the time, which is a valuable profession, and honestly, they watched those soap operas and got their ideas of the outside world because they're stuck at home, right? And the guys had their thing from reading Sports Illustrated and Playboy or whatever when they got home, and it was all contrived and not real. The American dream, such as it was in the white picket fence, never really existed. So, not that way, that dynamic got uprooted, and so ever since people are trying to get it back. And part of getting it back is having what? It's having that reinforcement of that soap opera mentality, of having that single breadwinner kind of mentality. I don't see how it could ever come back. Technology and technocracy.
The breadwinner is Uncle Government with your universal income, man. And it's like you feed your dog so your dog loves you. You know, your boss hands you your paycheck, so you do what your boss says. You know what I mean? Because he's handing your money. He gave you money because you did what he said. You know? So it's like he's feeding you. You know? So you got to wag your tail. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you can wag your tail at the government when they hand you universal income. You know, but you're not going to get it unless you go do something, whatever that is. Go sign up for something and scan your eyeball or some shit. Some eyeball scanner coming to your neighborhood near you directly. What's that dude's name? I'll be there directly. What's that guy's name that's spinning the eyeball? What's his nuts?
Sam.
Sam. What's his nuts?
Altman.
Yeah, Sam Altman. Exactly. Sam alias the what's his nuts Altman.
It's like the orb from Phantasm. If people are old enough to remember Phantasm, that's exactly what it is. Or from right now, it's like just be at the airport or whatever. They're talking about making this flying orb like a drone from Half-Life or like the Phantasm orb flying around. It's going to scan your eyeball everywhere you go. You're not going to be able to have access to different parts of the entire planet without being scanned first, right?
You know what, man?
I mean, it sounds like sci-fi, but that's what they're shooting for. That's really what it is.
Dude.
And I don't know how we can let that happen.
Here.
Once you let it happen, how do you stop it?
Here, stick your eyeball up to the screen. Say to the microcosm. I met you on somebody's island. What's that number, Rio?
718-618-9905. Amber's saying there's some casual emails between Musk and Altman. Yeah, I bet there are.
Well, they started OpenAI. Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
They tested it on Reddit. They got their conversational skills from Reddit. The whole time. The entire time people were on Reddit, they were training AI. The whole time. Right? So, yeah.
No wonder the AI is so salty.
Well,
yeah, exactly. It's exactly why.
Yeah, the thing is, man, it's like if you didn't hear the Chilluminati episode from last week, you don't know about the babysitter who came out and whistle blew. I guess I don't know if she blew whistle, but she definitely whistle blew.
Joe, the house is surrounded. Do exactly as we say and no one gets hurt. Get off the babysitter. Put on your pants. Come out with your hands up.
Please, Joel, do what they say. Just get off the babysitter. Don't throw your life away like
All right. Sorry. I didn't mean to go
Don't
off.
throw your life away. Get off the babysitter.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? The world's gone berserker. I don't know. I don't think even if you open up your window and yelled, what if I buy my tires and get a toaster?
Yeah, I wonder how many times Matt Gaetz has heard that.
I don't know, but I was thinking of the movie Network where everybody yelled out their windows. I think we're past the yelling out the windows. I remember people howling at a certain time during the Michelle Pfeiffer incident. People howling and singing. Remember that? Mm-hmm. All the people in the town slowly murmuring some song together.
Yeah, they started that town in Italy. There's like 40,000 people.
That's what I mean.
In quarantine, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I tripped out, when I started watching videos from Italy. And I was seeing these videos of these dudes, and they were all standing in this room with these stretchers, with these lumpy white sheets on top of these stretchers. And there's all these dudes in there mobbing in there, these military dudes, and they were showing all these trucks going down like
yeah,
all these trucks.
The trucks full of mannequins.
Supposedly, yeah. But here's the thing, and this is what clued me into it, was that there was nobody in there amongst these corpses had masks on. And I was thinking to myself, it's interesting.
Yeah, because if you had that many bodies, it'd be a certain stink.
Not only that, but not only the stink, but you would have to say that those whatever germs there were would be obviously floating around in there.
Yeah,
couldn't be in there all
get very
willy-nilly.
sick from a dead body.
Yeah, you don't want to get all willy-nilly without your proper attire. You don't want to. What's it called? Epic. You don't want to your PPE.
Yeah,
you got to have your PPE together. In situations such as that. You know what I mean?
Well, what's funny about that is when original SARS broke out, and
don't start talking
people
about
coming over from
medical
Asia wore their masks, right? We were told here in America that that's silly. All that does is keep you from sneezing on somebody else. It doesn't keep you from catching it.
Right.
And nobody wore it here, and it was like a laughingstock kind of thing, not in a bad way, like making fun of people, but just like kind of in the back of your mind, like, look at these people coming over here wearing their masks. That's kind of silly, right? What do they do? What do they think they're doing? Coming off the plane wearing their masks. And it was that way for what, 20, 30 years. Then all of a sudden it got adopted later on, and it's still kind of the same thing, right? All you really do is keep them spreading somebody else. So it's an act of courtesy. It's not really self-protection. It never was, right? I mean, it's thought of that way now, but it was never meant really to protect you, unless you're wearing and one mask. It's not going to help you, not that much. So
I actually saw a couple people that were out the other day, and they still had their masks on.
I see people with masks all the time,
man. Like, this has been over for years now.
Yeah, but the thing is that people that are sick wear masks. That's the thing.
It's courtesy.
If you see somebody, with a mask on
and wearing the mask, they were, they were still in that mindset.
How do you know? Did you walk up to them and ask them if they were sick? You just saw them. You made an assumption. You know what? That's contempt before investigation, Rock and Rio. You've already jumped to a conclusion based on something you saw, but what you saw might not have been the actual thing that happened. See what I mean? It's so easy to make that distinction, like, because you think a certain way about it. Potentiality, though, is they could be sick and they don't want to get you sick.
Yeah, maybe.
See, that's the positive way to think. See, Rock and Rio is always looking at the negative. I'm fucking with you, man. I'm just kidding. I was gonna write a book many years ago called the positive effect of negative thinking.
I will say they were the type that would be the ones who were still wearing the mask because
I see.
Of what the situation.
Well, so you're judging a book by its cover, man.
No.
No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just saying, there's two.
I do tend to do that.
There's two sides to every story. That's what That's what I'm saying. It all depends on where you're looking at it from. It's like.
And it's funny because the masks are all like dirty and stained and like.
Oh, that's disgusting, man.
Like it was obvious that they have been wearing them for the last 3 years, kind of thing. It wasn't like it was a fresh mask from, some. Like I mean I get it. Some people wear if they have certain things, but
that's rank, man.
It was nasty.
That's disgusting, man.
They were obviously 3-year-old masks.
(718-618-9905). Is that the number?
That's the number.
718-618-9905. Give us a call. We got a few minutes left. Want to jump in before we head on out into the night, screaming. Run away like your head's on fire. Go to something better. Crocus used to kick ass back in the day. 718-618-9905 is the number to call. What's up, Glory? Haven't seen you in a long time. It's good to see you over there. It's good to see Amber, too. Missed you there the first hour. Polly's over there. Scott, what's happening? Linda. Mike. Lance. Early girls over there. Ronan. There they go. Are they still rocking the house? It's like one guy left doing state fairs.
I don't know what the status of Crocus is at this point.
Yeah.
There's like one guy left, and they're doing state fair shows every summer. I'm cranking it out to state fairs, but it's kind of like it used to be. Man, I mean, the level of fame that people used to get, it's just not ever going to happen again like that for anybody. I mean, I guess
no, your 15 minutes of fame is really 15 minutes a lot of times nowadays.
I think it is that artist that everybody's in love with right now. It's the biggest artist in the world. Faith Evans, or what the fuck her name is. What's the chick's name?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. Faith Evans, Taylor Swift. Who knows?
Yeah.
I do like Faith Evans.
You know, she's another one of the designed acts. I mean, she's got talent to sing and whatever, but
Faith Evans.
Well, both of them actually. But.
Yeah, Faith Evans she was great. The other one, there people are saying that they can't remember shows or whatever. We had put forward that the concept of what happened that created the deadhead, that the same idea was utilized in and these fans of what's her name?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Well, she's actually performing like ritual magic on stage.
I know.
You know, so I mean,
but see, that's what I mean. You can say to me right now, she's performing ritual magic on stage, and I'm like, you know what, dude? After like 20 years of decoding the Super Bowl, you know, I'm well aware of it. It doesn't shock me.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
It's like the level. You know, it's like, well, she didn't do the ritual as good as this other girl did. You gotta
exactly.
Right? These other girls.
Right? Yeah, the Madonna, Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, that's a hard one
Britney
to beat.
Spears,
the checkerboard floor and the pants
coming down the
black and white pants
stairs, and
yeah,
that's
I mean, they do it too, right? Yeah,
I'm just saying. That's
Madonna's probably one of the most blasphemous people out there.
I'm just saying that's where we're at, though. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can tell me that she's doing ritual magic on stage, and it doesn't shock me. It's like all this shit. You've been beat.
Just another band. You know, just another band worshiping Satan.
Just saying, you've been beat over the head with all this shit, and it's been normalized. Like, you can talk about this heinous shit that goes on with Matt Getz and that reverse speech that you did earlier. You can talk about that, but at this point, it shocks no one because they've done a real good job of promoting it through that whole Q operation, where everyone just talks about it like they're saying, pass me the fucking sugar or whatever.
That's exactly what it is.
Because you've been desensitized to it. And then right after that is when they pass these laws that make it legal because you don't have a problem with it anymore because you're not shocked by it anymore.
Yeah, right. You know? That was what Yuri Bezmenov said the plan was, right? To desensitize everybody to the evil. And we would just accept it at some point. Yeah. 40 years ago, the guy was talking about that.
Exactamundo. 718-618-9905 is the number to call if you want to.
5 minutes left. Somebody will call in the last 5 minutes. They always do.
Chime in, man. Chime in. If not, it's all right. We'll see you tomorrow night where we chill. But I mean, at this point, you know, I should tell a story, but I shouldn't. I mean, I wish I could. And I might someday, but I just not now. But anyways, you know, there's a point where at some level you got to say to yourself, like I just got done saying to Rio about, you know, doing this for this long and how many times we've been down so many roads. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you see, it's like we were saying with Epic Journeyman also a while back about movies and plot lines. It's like, man, you've seen this shit for so long. Rock and Rio. The thing is,
it becomes like it's a second nature thing, right? You get it because you've already been through it like 10 times.
I'm just saying, if you say there's ritual magic going on, no one's blinking an eye. You know, it's like body bags in a war zone. You know what I mean? It's like, another body bag. You know, I don't know.
We're gonna go left. You turn right at the body bag.
Yeah, turn right at the body bag.
I mean, it's so normalized, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like nothing shocking anymore. It has to be really shocking. It has to be really, in other words, you know, kicking some dude's ass is not good enough. And you gotta boot stomp the fucker, and then that's not enough. And then you gotta hit it with hit the corpse with a baseball bat, but still that's not enough. You gotta break out the chainsaw, and still that's not enough. You got
next thing you know, you got the crematorium in the Jack in the Box.
Exactly. It's you know what, man? It's that movie Bitter Moon. You ever see that movie? Bitter Moon.
I still haven't.
I'm not going to describe it.
Movie, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to describe it. I'm just telling you, it's the epitome of this phenomenon that I'm talking about, where it just has to be more and more and get worse and worse, or whatever. If that's what you're into. You know, if you're into shit getting worse and worse, it has to get worse and worse. Being bad isn't bad enough. It has to be really fucking bad. It's like being in telecommunications. You know, in the business that I'm in, that I've been in for like a long time, everything's an emergency. So it doesn't matter if it's a fucking emergency. It doesn't matter because it's always an emergency. So you're always at that level. It has to be. Emergency is just normal. In order for you to get off of your ass and do something different, it has to be a critical, you know, emergency. You know? Because it's always an emergency anyway. You know, you're always like that. You're always ready to roll, man. You know, your adrenals are pumping because it's a fucking emergency. It's an emergency. Epic tournament. It's an emergency. You know.
I was doing that today at work. Exactly.
See? It's always an emergency, right? You sit there because if in the middle of emergency,
network went down. Yeah.
Since
I'm
it's
a network guy. I had a good network back on.
Yeah, and since it's always an emergency, I'm the type of brother that'll sit there in the middle of an emergency and just have a cup of coffee because I'm used to being in an emergency all the time.
You're the wolf.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm used to being in situations where everything's a critical thing. Like in cell phones. Back in the day when you used to have to pay for minutes of use, when shit was down, they were losing millions of dollars. For shit used to cost you by the minute on cell phones. People used to pay. People got jacked for how many thousands of dollars on that shit.
Yeah, you got 500 minutes a month or whatever, and if you went over, it was like $4 a minute or something outrageous.
People don't realize.
Easy money.
Man. Yeah. Man, these are back in this, and now what we're talking about right this minute, just talking about this, is that's back in the old days for people. They're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Paid by the minute?
It emerged. At first, it was Jesus. then it was there's Roman Empire, and there was pagers and us. I guess it's kind of there.
Well, now they just charge you $120 a month.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a sickness, man. I'm just saying, run away like your head's on fire and go have a good time somewhere. Forget about this shit. Turn it off, man. Get your serotonin. You know, smell a puppy. You know, puppy breath. Remember that?
Yeah. Hey, puppy breath rules, man.
Puppy breath. Get yourself an ice cream cone or something.
Yeah, the kitten bounces are pretty cool too. Like if you're laying down, the kitten bounces.
Go fly a kite.
All right.
Go fly a kite. You know, they got some badass kites. Man, you can fly kites out at the beach.
You can put kittens and puppies in them.
Don't put puppies in the kites. Don't do it.
That's what those box kites are for. What do you put in there?
Sniff their breath. Don't put them on kites.
Okay.
All right, we're out of here, man. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific, Fix Your Illuminati will convene in the darkness of night.
Forced and I'm alone. Skin, yeah, chill me to the bone. You turned and you
then. Rock and Rio, is that about it over there at freeworld.fm?
I believe it is.
All right, we're still on the air over here on YouTube. Just want to say thanks to everybody for being here. Appreciate you. And we'll catch you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific. All right, you guys ready to bone out? Let's go.
I will